Out to get underway in the wake of that 1-0 win for Rangers against St Mirren and Paisley. The one remaining top flight fixture this weekend is at Dens Park. It's live with us here on Sports Sound and BBC Radio Scotland. John Rankin, Kevin Thompson and Liam McLeod.
It is the only fixture that matters in this city, the city of discovery, as Dundee welcome their neighbours to Dens Park. Just over 100 metres down the road is Tannadice Park, and an opportunity for the bragging rights to be won, but also there is serious business as well. Dundee United are hanging by a thread when it comes to top six hopes. If they lose this one, then the top six, bottom six is sorted, and Falkirk will be celebrating if it's a home victory here, if the dark blue half of the city emerge on top against the tangerine and black side. The 181st competitive Dundee derby. Dundee have won 52 to United's 83. It's the 71st league derby between them at Dens. 21 wins for Dundee, 36 for United. As the sun shines down here, very different conditions to what we witnessed in Paisley in the earlier kick-off. It is cold, but nowhere near the wind that's howling around Renfrewshire and the Central Belt at the moment. Here it's relatively benign. The pitch obviously a bit threadbare, as it has been for a while now, since the turn of the year really, with the rain absolutely battering down. The Dundee United players, Dundee players will line up along the centre circle in just a moment after the coin toss. Ross Graham and Simon Murray, who celebrates his 34th birthday today, doing the handshakes and the coin toss, with the referee, who is Duncan Nicholson, taking charge of his first Dundee derby. But before we get underway, there is going to be a moment to remember the legendary Gordon Wallace, who sadly lost his life. Obviously, he is most synonymous with the dark blue side of Dundee. He also spent some time at United. Indeed, he was assistant to Ivan Golac when they won the Scottish Cup in '94, but with Dundee, he's such a legend. And that memorable cup final winning goal in the early 70s, the last time Dundee picked up a major honour indeed. And there will be a minute's applause for Gordon Wallace ahead of, fittingly, the Dundee derby here this afternoon. Lovely tribute here from both sets of supporters for Gordon Wallace, Hall of Famer here at Dens, League Cup hero. And I know that both clubs were saddened by that news. He passed away at the age of 82. It is, as I say, a fitting fixture to pay tribute to Gordon Wallace's memory, as Dundee take on United. John McCracken in goal for the host. Wright, Astley, Graham, Samuels, Hamilton, Cottrell, Congreve, Danda, Yogan and Murray. For United, it's Maynard Brewer in goal. Iovu comes back. Graham Karestes, Stevenson, Adjie, Chevy and Ferry. Ferrugi and Fata either side of Waters, who's only scored once in his last 19, but he's going to lead the line for United this afternoon. It will be Dundee to kick off. They're going to shoot left to right in the navy blue. United in the tangerine and black, as you would expect. Dundee shooting towards the Bobby Cox stance. A long ball up towards the edge of the United box, which is rifled clear by Christian Kerestes. into the Dundee half, where Graham gets his head onto it, flicked on by Dan down the centre spot, and then Yogan is fouled there by Jovu, and that's a free kick against the Moldovan in the centre circle for Dundee. I've got John Rankin and Kevin Thompson with me for this one, and it's always a special occasion, John.
It certainly is, and I was here a couple of weeks ago for the Hibs game here, and what a crowd, what a difference today. I mean, Dens is packed. It's games that you're certainly looking forward to, especially at the beginning of the season. I think Dundee are in a much better form than what United are just now, but it's certainly one that both sets of players will be looking forward to. United come up the back of a really poor performance and result last week, especially in the first half at Falkirk, so they'll be looking to put that right and keep alive their slim hopes of getting into the top 6.
Yeah, and they are slim as far as the Dark Blues are concerned, Kevin. The carrot to go above their neighbours today, and that's not to be sniffed at.
Yeah, I was just actually thinking that the last time me and Ranks were this close, we were probably playing. Great games, great occasions, 100 mile per hour normally. And normally, Liam, it's the one that settles the quickest. I always hated shooting down the hill in the first half, sorry. I know it doesn't seem much, but it was always a big thing for me. Maybe that was just me personally, but it'll be interesting to see how the game develops today.
It's seen behind for a goal kick for United. Maynard Brewer just letting it trickle behind there. Stephen Presley and Jim Goodwin are out in the technical areas down below us. It's Maynard Brewer who came into the club and was immediately installed as Jim Goodwin's number 1. Prepares to take just the 1 clean sheet in his 9 games for United so far, and leaking goals have been a problem for them most of the season as his long ball comes all the way through to his opposite number. And John McCracken, and clean sheets have been hard to come by for him as well, albeit he was beaten by that fabulous Callum Slattery free kick here 8 days ago in the victory over Motherwell. McCracken goes long with the right foot up to the edge of the box, flicked on by Congreve, but it's going to be picked up by Crestes. Just sees it go behind for the goal kick as well, so perhaps it might be a little bit tentative today, but as the guys were saying, Dundee come into this in better form than their neighbours, as these two do battle for the 3rd time this season. It's been the away team that's come out on top in the other 2. In the first one in August, United won 2-0 here thanks to a goal in each half from Sapsford and Dolchet, neither of whom are starting this game. And Dundee got revenge at the start of January thanks to Ashley Hayes' goal on the stroke of half-time at Tannadice. Murray, the birthday boy, in the centre circle, tries to help it on his way to the left, cut out by Jovu, and then picked up here by Adji, sweeps it forward the outside of the left boot, and it's cleared at the edge of the Dundee box by Luke Graham. He's having a fantastic season, and Linkman moves away. Long clearance drops to Ross Graham, the United skipper, in the centre circle, and then onto the halfway line. Adji out to Kerestes, and he rolls it with the left foot back to Graham. And out to that right side where Iovu will take it up towards the halfway line. 3 changes for United from last week's starting 11 at Falkirk as they come forward down the right hand side, but the run from Perugia comes to nothing as the ball breaks all the way back to McCracken. Long ball forward, Murray gives chase, chases every single lost cause, even at the age of 34 now, as that's played out for a throw into Dundee by Kerestes on this near side. Congreve over it for the moment, level with the penalty spot, takes it quickly, and it's picked up here on the right hand side by Joel Cottrell, and then play back to Astley in the halfway line into his own half. It's with Graham.
Yeah, Liam, I'm looking at that's a real worry for me when you look at it from a Dundee United perspective here. Simon Murray's a lone striker, he's playing against 3 centre-backs, but the ball gets played over the top. They've done it a few times, and it's just a case of Simon chasing it down. He can work a back 3 self. Now, a 35-year-old should never be able to work a back 3 cell and put them under pressure, but that's something that they need to be able to manage and need to be able to marshal, with the 2 outside centre-backs with Kerestes and Jovo able to step in, but Simon's preventing that. Another thing that will have a big influence is the Dundee wingers, when they're able to get high and wide against the wing back, it's going to cause some problems.
Fantastic play by Dundee down the right. It's Congreve, it's a good ball in, it's cleared by Graham inside the 6-yard box, right for a throw into the D on this near side, about level the edge of the D of the United box, and Trey Wright is over it, and he's bowled it back there into his own half for Astley, who plays it to his left. And it's with Luke Graham, strides across the halfway line, chips it with the left foot out to the right, looking for Congreve, headed away by Ferry, picked up by Adjie on this near side. His attempted ball down the lines cut out by Cottrell, and eventually it's dumped away by Carestes, comes all the way through to McCracken at the edge of the Dundee box. It is goalless here in the infancy of the match, 5.5 minutes on the clock.
You can see already, Liam, that Dundee want to play down this right channel. Congreve, such a talisman for this Dundee team at the moment, can go both ways, right and left.
It's a challenge there, strong Carestes on Congreve. It's another who's been impressive. I mentioned when we did a little hit at half-time in Paisley, Dundee have had to rebuild their team again this season, losing the likes of Silla, Cameron, Portales, Mulligan, Tiffany. It's been a slow burn for Stephen Presley as United pick up with Vichko Chevy. It turns it out to the right for Iovu, back into the centre circle in his own half for Graham. Centre of the pitch, out to Carestes to the left, down the line, it drops off right and out for a United throw-in, and this is Will Ferry territory. I think anything beyond the halfway line is a long throw-in into the box for Will Ferry. He's a specialist at this season, and up come the big men.
Yeah, they're all in the box, and that's one thing Dundee United are. They're big, they're physical, they're aggressive at set plays. Interesting here that they've brought Simon Murray over the thrower to actually just be in front of Ferry, so if it does get headed back when it comes from, they can set the counter.
And it comes, it's not a great header back across his own 6-yard box there. Chance for United potentially. Cottrell sweeps it up high with the left foot and behind for the first corner of the match, which goes to Dundee United. And Amar Fatah over on the far side trying to whip up the United supporters in the Shankly standoff to our left, and they are right behind this.
Again, it's going to cause problems. A set play, long throw. You look at the height difference in the United players, they'll certainly get an advantage in there. So just needs to make sure that the delivery's on point.
Right in front of the Derry over there on the far side as well. Fatah with the outswinging corner, right-footed, bends it towards the penalty spot. Graham can't quite get there. Still alive for United. It's turned back out to the right there by Waters. Fatah still out there trying to battle for it. Gets to the byline. Deep cross comes in. Chance headed over the bar. What an opportunity it was for Yuri Ovu, who threw himself at it, and he's headed it over the crossbar. Goal kick, best chance of the game so far. It stays Dundee 0, United 0.
I think that's an opportunity. I think he's got to score. I think he's got to score. The interesting part there is I'm looking at Yovo attacking the ball at the back post, and he attacks it at great height. He gets his forehead to it and puts over the bar, but the Dundee players are actually high-fiving Cam Congreve because it's him that puts his body in between Yovo to try and put him off. But for me, that's not putting him off. He's maybe took his eye off the ball himself. He has to score. That can be 1-0, as Tomo says, shooting down the hill towards your own fans. And it gets everyone going, and it changes the atmosphere, and you know how important the first goal in a derby is as well. That's a massive chance for Dundee United.
Yeah, it's a sitter for me, Ranks, it really is. It's a sitter, especially when you think how good the Jim Goodwin team is at attacking the ball. Brilliant initial play out wide, gets a wee bit lucky off of Simon Murray, but a lovely stand-up, and it's one that they should be scoring.
They're one of the more potent teams from set plays in the league this season, are Dundee United, and that was a real opportunity which the Moldovan defender Iovu has spurned. He's only got the one goal. It came against Strassen in Conference League qualifying back in the summer. It's a long ball from McCracken, headed away by Graham. It's to the right of the centre circle. Stevenson gets something onto it, still out there on the far side. It's going to break back here to Astley, nods it back to McCracken, who has it in his gloves just now. So Dundee breathing a sigh of relief, having watched Iovu head over the crossbar. It's McCracken from the edge of his box, launches it forward into the United half, comes off the head of Carestes, up to the halfway line. Waters gets his head onto it, breaks back out to this left flank for United with Fatah battling with Trey Wright, wins it back off right. You had it momentarily, now Ferry slips over the outside to the left-hand side. Fatah's cross from the byline is booted away by Astley it was, and eventually it's a foul by Ferry on Congreve on this near side. It is goalless in the third Dundee derby of the season. We're approaching the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, I just think they need to be a wee bit more patient, Dundee, Liam. They've banged it long a few times, and I know Ranks had mentioned Simon Murray getting them up the pitch, but when you have the wide boys that Dundee have, the boys in the middle of the pitch, even the fullbacks, when you think you're Dre Wright, you know, probably an attacking-minded fullback, I think if they're a wee bit more patient and pass the ball a bit better, I'm not so sure they're going to get so much joy off of Dundee United just banging it down their throats.
But see if Dundee do put their foot in the ball, I think they've got an overloaded midfield, because you look at the 3-4-3 that United play, almost the 2-10s as you'd expect them to drop in, but United's don't. So Dundee have got an overload in the middle. We spoke about it before the game. Ethan Hamilton could have a massive influence in the game today. He really impressed me since he's come in. But if Dundee can do that and put their foot in the ball, they allow the wingers to get higher up, and then they're able to pass it and allow the winger to go 1v1. And if the wingers can go 1v1, we've all seen how much of an influence they can have in Dundee's games.
He scored a couple of fabulous goals this season as well, Ethan Hamilton, hasn't he, against Celtic and Aberdeen. As Dundee pick up on this near side and a foul on the aforementioned Hamilton over on this near side, midway inside Dundee territory. It's rolled to the left there, and Graham takes over, and then out to the left-hand side with Samuels. He's got Danda down the line. Now it's picked up by Yogan, attacking the box and then losing out, and United pick it up again on that right side. They're wanting a free kick. They're not going to get one, I don't think. And Dundee collect with Ryan Astley, and it's a long ping ball with the right foot. Congreve trying to get in behind. He might get onto this. Congreve sliding in is Carestes to put it out for a throw in to the hosts, about level with the United 6-yard line.
Yeah, that's more quality, Liam, that one. You know, great ball for Graham, in behind for Congreve. That's where he wants to receive the ball, albeit didn't quite get a hold of it. Brilliant initial play for Ethan Hamilton. Ranks will know all too well that battle in the middle of the pitch. You always want to pick up seconds to try and give your team a foothold in the game.
So it is Ryan Astley's up to take this and bowl this into the United box, albeit the visitors have a problem here. It's Neil Farrugia who's come over to receive some treatments. The United are down to 10 temporarily here. His manager's come over to see if he's okay himself. In the meantime, Dundee throw-in launched into the United box, headed away by Chevy. Out on this near side, Fatah battling for it, but loses out to Astley. Down the line it goes to Congreve. Congreve shimmies away from Will Ferry, not once but twice. Now he's attacking him, he's turned him inside out, and he's driving towards the box. Low ball across, Murray's clapped effort blocked. Good chance that for Dundee. And the free kick is going to be given here for the home team for a foul. They are right on the edge of the box, and Joel Cottrell, and it's just slightly to the right of centre, outside the D of the United box. This is an outstanding opportunity for somebody.
I actually thought they had half a chance of a penalty shout there, Liam, just when Congreve approached the box. It just looked just as he was about to pull the trigger to cross it. He just got clipped. Brilliant play for Astley to start with. I was actually surprised when you think Ferry taking the throw-in for Dundee United and all the big boys being up. Yeah, it shows you the height difference when Astley's taking the long throw-in for Dundee.
Farrugia's made his way back on. United back to their full complement, but they've got to face this free kick, which is at the edge of their box. Andrew Dallas, Gavin Duncan are on VAR duties this afternoon for this one.
Surely Ethan Hamilton just hits this the same as what Charlie Adams would hit. Just an absolute hammer toe of left peg, isn't he?
You two are going to need to keep me right, because this pillar right in front of me, I can't see who's taking it.
You've got no chance.
I cannot see them, mate.
Oh, Hamilton has stepped back, ready to run at the ball here. A couple of others around about there. Jan Danda too. It is going to be Hamilton though. Rifles it straight off the wall, and it pings back to Dre Wright. Left to centre, still in the United half though. Out to the far side, they've got it, and it will be slipped up to that left-hand touchline by Luke Graham, to Yogan, and then back to Graham again. The momentum's gone from it, and Hamilton will be disappointed with that. It's capable of the spectacular, as we know, as a long ball comes through. Comfortable for Maynard Brewer, who gathers and launches it long forward with the left foot down this near side. Got plenty on that. It's only headed half away there by Samuels. Picked up here by Fatah. Rolls it square infield to Chevy, under pressure from Wright. Dundee a little bit out of position here as they try to funnel back. It's in the box, and then it just breaks away from Max Waters, and Dundee able to clear. It just wouldn't fall for him as Murray lays it off to Hamilton and out to Samuels wide in the left. It is goalless here in the Dundee derby. We've played 14 and a half minutes.
I think that's an opportunity for United to get a shot away there. The ball comes in and Waters takes his touch. It's actually a decent touch. It sits up for him. But a striker that's full of confidence at that point either swivels and hits or allows the oncoming Farrugia to strike through it, and he doesn't either. He stands and takes another touch, and the chance goes. But again, United are keeping a bit of pressure on just now, and they've got the ball in the United half, Dundee half.
actually come for an initial brilliant kick from Maynard, Ranks, didn't it? Even though it's direct, but it's amazing that a long ball, if it's in the right area to the right players, it can get you up the pitch in a blink of an eye.
United unbeaten in the last 4 league games at Dens, winning 3, drawing the other. And obviously they've not been in the same division for a lot of that time, hence just the 4 since. An infamous night here in May 2016, which saw United's relegation confirmed. Katsalov and Whiten with the goals for Dundee, and they had been 1-0 down at that point, but that plunged United into the Championship. And under Mixi Patalainen at the time, it's back with Maynard Brewer here for the current United side, launched forward with the left foot up to the edge of the Dundee box. It's headed away by Astley, breaks to Hamilton, now it's right, rolls it infield low to Danda, left of the centre circle, out to Tony Yogan on the far side with his first senior goal last week against Motherwell to open the scoring, and now he's going to take on Yovu, burns away from him, gets the cross in, it's headed behind for the corner by Lucas Stevenson as Dundee threatens, going from one end to the other right now. It remains though Dundee 0, United 0.
Just a bit of composure, Liam. Great ball initially, for it might look simple, but Hamilton just putting his foot on it, good passageway right, worked it in at the middle of the pitch, eventually find it in the wide area. That's what Dundee, I think, when they're at their best, that wee bit of composure, a wee bit of quality, especially when they've got the wide players. They're so effective when they get in 1v1 situations.
If you missed it earlier, St Mirren 0, Rangers 1 was a full-time scoreline. Rangers within 3 of the top now, and 1 behind Celtic again. Here in the derby, Dundee corner, Danda with the right foot, ends headed away well by Chevy. Back out to Danda it comes, and they're looking to try and get the ball back in the box here. Wright's under real pressure from Fatah, out to Danda, in comes the cross into the box, breaks to Murray, who trips on the ball, and United are able to clear through Farrugia, and it stays goalless in the sunshine here at Dens Park. It is with John McCracken, who rolls it short to Graham, and back to his goalkeeper again. How are you rating the game so far, John? What are we, 17 minutes in? Is it a little bit tentative for you, or are the teams playing with a degree of confidence?
No, it's exactly as I thought it would be. It's scrappy, there's a lot of second balls, there's a lot of fight out there, there's not too much quality. I think Tomo spoke about it earlier. See when you're involved in these games, it becomes a midfield battle, and it's who's going to come out on top of that battle. And I remember games when you're maybe running about, there's not a lot of composure on it, you're trying to make sure you're up in the first second ball when it lands, so you maybe get a wee nudge on Tomo, or Tomo's got a nudge on Marcel, and then you're maybe taking the focus away. That's all the pressures of a derby game, but there's not a lot of that just now. It's just a lot of heading back and forth. When Dundee have been able to get control and get switches to get their wide players on it, it's came from a switch of play where Danda's been able to get off the back of United's 2 in midfield, and that's going to be a case because he will pick up those wee pockets, and if he can feed Congreve.
Well, there's some kind of VAR check going on here. I'm not sure what it's for, but it looks like it's been waved away, and we may never find out what that was for. But anyway, it's a throw-in for United on this near side, bowled down the line by Will Ferry into the Dundee half, headed away, headed back forward down the left flank by Ferry. Fatah was after it, but the offside flag goes up. Kevin, you've played in all the big city derbies in this country. How special are they, and how special is this one compared to the one in the capital and the one in Glasgow?
Yeah, I loved them, and listen, I was unfortunate. United always had the upper hand of us, but the games that I managed to play, and we were lucky to get on the right end of the result. But like Rank said, you sometimes don't think of much quality within them. Sometimes it's the small moments, the bit of luck on your side. But you know, I love the ferocious nature of it. I love the tempo. I love having to try and find a wee bit of composure within the game, and I suppose that'll be Dundee's catalyst for being successful today. When you think of the makeup of the team, from a Dundee United perspective, Liam, I just think the United back three, when you think of Simon Murray sometimes getting isolated, if they really want to put Dundee under the cosh, I think the back three need to be a wee bit more aggressive with Simon Murray. I think they've got an opportunity to pen Dundee in when they're shooting down this hill.
19.5 minutes played, it remains goalless. United have another throw-in up the pitch here, a bit level with the edge of the D again of the Dundee box. Will Ferry winding this one up. Murray stands right in front of him. Ferry bowls it in, catches in a little breeze. It's headed away, but it's back to Ferry. Low ball into the box. Iovu, who's missed the big chance of the game, has got his back to goal and he's it nicked off him. And away come Dundee's. That slip forward to Murray. He'll give chase. Carestes will get there though, and he's cool enough to take a touch. As Danda tried to spring Simon Murray there. Ball forward by Carestes is poor. And it breaks out to Murray again, but there's an offside flag and it stays Dundee 0, United 0. But again, it's just underlining the, I think John used the word scrappy, underlining the scrappy nature of it.
Yeah, you can. Listen, the grass doesn't look that bad. It looks as if there's grass on it compared to what there is across the road anyway. So there is an opportunity to get the ball down and play. For me, the most dangerous man in Dundee United team just now looks like Fata, but he looks starved of supply. They don't have much composure in the middle to be able to get the ball forward, whereas Dundee have had time at times, I think it's maybe twice, to put their foot in the ball in the middle of the pitch, and that's what's caused United problems. But there's not, as you say, it's scrappy and there's nothing in the game.
It's a good battle. There's Murray. That's a lovely little touch away from a couple of United players. Aji was one of them. It's a long one out to the right for Congreve, who's onto it now. He can take on Carestes. Shows too much of it though to the United defender, and he puts it out for a Dundee throw in about level with the edge of the centre circle. Stephen Presley down there, the Dundee manager. He'd 3 years as a player at Tannadice between 95 and 98. He knows what this fixture's all about, even as Dundee manager this season. The 2 games that have been played between them this campaign so far, with another to come unless United can somehow usurp Falkirk. Looks highly unlikely though, as Trey Wright gets across into the United box, headed away by Iovu, picked up by Hamilton, trying to work it with the left foot back out to the touchline for Congreve. It's blocked, but it breaks Hamilton's way. Looks to get back onto it. He has it at the edge of the area. His ball forward's cut out though. United managing to get it half away. Yogan's going to chase after it on the far side. Iovu is the covering player, needs to put it out for a Dundee throw-in midway inside the United half, over on the left-hand side of the pitch. United have a man down here. Not sure if it's Carestes who's lying on the deck. I think it might be, and some attention's going to have to be given to him. It is almost on the quarter mark here. Goalless.
Yeah, he looks like he's in a bit of bother as well, albeit he's getting pulled up now. Real full-blooded for Ethan Hamilton. He actually does brilliant, Ethan Hamilton, initially. Wee give and go, his last wee pass, the wee cute one just through the gap, just didn't quite get there, but his reaction was brilliant, and then he just left a wee marker.
That's 22 minutes of a derby, Tom, and that's the first person to find a real tackle.
I'd already been I'd already have a yellow card, I think.
So it plenty
probably
for both of you. It's back with McCracken, who launches it forward with the right foot into the United half. Goes off the head of Graham. Carestes is okay. He's back on his feet. Didn't need the medics on. There's Hamilton in the midfield, left of the centre circle, though he's lost it. Now it's with Graham. Carestes back to Maynard Brewer, who thumps it long with the left foot into the Dundee half, but it's met by the head of Astley, who heads it out for a United throw-in on the near side. Bowled in field by Ferry to Ajié, goes back into his own half. Jim Goodwin's not even bothering with a jacket today. In there with the jumper on. Stephen Presley still got the winter threads on to his right.
He'll be in a t-shirt if Carestes keeps making passes like that. His blood pressure went up there. I don't know what he's trying, a diagonal pass, and it's cut out on the way. It's not even got enough air in it, but again, just shows you the difference of the two managers' temperament just now, as well as how they've set their teams up.
Mata wins the throw-in on this near side, level with the Dundee 18-yard line. Here's Will Ferry again. United fans packed in behind that goal to the left, hoping that Ferry can find a tangerine shirt with this. He looks to launch it in. It's actually going to be a bit level with the penalty spot by the time the United number 11 takes it. Again, Simon Murray comes out and stands practically on the touchline here in front of Will Ferry. Ferry bowls it in, it's swept towards goal, and the wind caught that, and McCracken holds on. I said at kick-off that it was relatively benign conditions. The wind's definitely got up. You can see that from the corner flags, and you could see it from Will Ferry's throw-in, which ended up going straight through to McCracken as the wind caught it. But it's a constant threat for Dundee United. It's Ray Wright as it nicked off him all too easily. Farrugia picks up in the centre circle. Stevenson on the right, gets it with the left foot pass. It's with Stevenson attacking Samuels. Decides to turn it back to Chevy. Over on that far side. Made his league debut for Dundee United in the derby right at the start of last season. 2-2 draw across the road. As Aji plays it straight off. Pata has a real waste now. Murray's got it, looking for Congreve. Been blocked off by Carestes. It wasn't so much a body check as a bit of strong defending from the United left centre back, who's gone down again, this time off the pitch. And it's a United throw in. It's 0-0 in the derby after 25 minutes.
He does well, Liam Perez does. He really does. He just gets his body in. I actually think Dundee could get a wee bit of joy if you think of the two wide players. I just think if they can try and isolate the back three, Dundee United, and allow Ferry and Stevenson on the other side to just encroach into Dundee, and then when they break quick they could almost go 3v3. They're probably not brave enough. I just think Congreve and Yogan on the far side are just doing a wee bit too much out of possession and helping Dundee, but they end up being too deep like this.
Yeah, Stevenson has it wide in the right now. He's driving forward, gets the early ball into the box toward the penalty spot, but it's cleared there by Cottrell. Dundee get it away. No, it's picked up here by Aji. Turns it with the left foot to the right there. It's Chevy, right central area. The ball forward to Farrugia. Snapshot's held on to by McCracken. It's on target. The goalkeeper made that look pretty simple in the end.
Yeah, he made it look simple, but again, they go down the right hand side and it's Lucas Stevenson with the cross. And there's 5 United players within the centre circle all round about Simon Murray. If they're going to score a goal, they need to get bodies in the box, but they're not. And then, to be fair, when Dundee clear it, they're then able to pick up the second ball and try and work it out, because they're able to make passes before the Dundee pressure comes, because they're so deep in the pitch. They work it well and Farrugia gets a good shot, but having that time round about the box, you'd expect him to pick a corner rather than being right down his throat.
It looked like a handball by Murray, but it's play on for now. Congreve, right of the United box, cuts into his left, then back onto his right, making for the byline. His cross takes a deflection and it's away by Maynard Brewer, who was backpedaling towards his goal line and somehow managed to claw it clear, and it stays goalless. And that was whipping dangerously towards that far corner. Here's Congreve again, left foot chip ball in, and Maynard Brewer gets there ahead of Murray to get both gloves on it, and it stays Dundee 0, United 0.
Just called it, Liam. You know, Congreve, when he can get 1v1, if he can get on the wrong side of Ferry and get that United back three, we know he can twist and turn, we know he can cut inside on his left foot, which is favoured one, but he's also got that quality, albeit a wee bit of luck with the deflection. But he's the man for Dundee. If he can just be a wee bit braver and stay that 5-10 yards further up the pitch when the ball turns over, it'll give him a better opportunity to create.
Fatah up the other end, wriggling away from a few challenges in the box, shoots, saved by McCracken. Game's opening up here. That's a chance for United. They've been 3 in the game if you include the Farrugia long ranger from a couple of minutes ago, and opportunities at both ends all of a sudden, and Fatah did brilliantly to dance his way into the box, got a shot away, and McCracken saves. Here come United again with Ferry wide in the left, controls well at the corner flag, wins the corner off Trey Wright. This game's sparking into life here. It remains goalless though.
Yeah, it's good play from United. Ball comes to the left hand side. Fatah jinks inside, a little feint, goes through in McCracken and maybe hits it straight at him. His finish could possibly be better driven across him, but good play. They've settled up the tempo, and when it comes back out again, it's a ball wide in the wider area. Ferry this time with the cross, and it goes out for a corner, but again, they've got the opportunity. If they could just be a wee bit more composed in front of goal, they could find themselves in front.
Great play by Fatah. As John says, he's looked the most likely outlet for United. He's taking the corner, bends it in, it's poor, it's kind of flicked over the roof of the net. What was it I said, the most likely outlet, yeah?
I just praised them, and then you said most likely outlet, and the corner
doesn't
even get in the pitch. Brilliant.
It's honestly, it's like a Swiss clock, isn't it? When you praise somebody, that's what happens. They make a mess of their next involvement, and that was the case with Fatah's corner, albeit in his defence. I think that too's got the wind.
And in your defence, Liam, I have to be honest, when he's got the ball at his feet in free play, he's a real danger, because he gathers speed very quickly, and when he does that, he puts the Dundee defence under pressure. He can go either way, so it causes him problems.
Important take there by Samuels on the far side, with Stevenson looking to get in behind him, and now it's Samuels up the line for Yogan. Lovely shimmy to get away from Yovu, who's brought down. Free kick, the ref wants a word with the big United defender, and he's going to speak to him right now. I think it's just a warning though for the United number 4.
Tomo's right. Tomo's right. That's a threat, as in regards to if Dundee can get both wingers on the opposite side of the wing backs and bring out the outside centre backs, it's going to cause a problem, because I don't think Jovo or Carestes are the most mobile, and if they can drive at them and get them 1v1, it's going to cause United problems. But if they retain their wing backs that deep, it becomes a back 5, and they've basically got 3 against 1 with Murray anyway, so something needs to give. Maybe it's go and press a winger on one side and maybe tuck round another, but Dundee's wingers, if they do get the upper hand and begin to drive at them, Dundee United are going to find themselves camped in.
We're on the half hour, 0-0. Jan Danda with a free kick into the United box, headed back across, chance there, blocked round about the 6-yard line. It was Cottrell who had a little touch there, and that's all I can describe it as. It wasn't really a shot, but I think he was kind of surprised that he found himself in such a good position.
I think it was Graham in the end, Liam. I don't know if it's just because it comes on his right foot. Great knock back over, I think, for Astley at the back post, and it just, as you mentioned, it just comes to him quickly. He almost just nonchalantly swooshes it out with his right foot rather than going for it. Almost felt he's probably landed a bit too lucky, but I think if it was on his left peg, he's probably having a better opportunity there.
It's a check for a penalty here, presumably for Dundee, so there's a little nervy wait for the Dundee United defenders, and it's game on. They've survived the VAR check for a possible penalty. And it's a Dundee throw-in which Trey Wright takes and bowls it down the line, looking for Congreve across. Carestes puts it out for a throw-in. This is level with the United 6-yard line. It's got a good ebb and flow to this. United have had the best chances. Maynard Brewer clawing that one away from Cam Congreve earlier. The cross into the box, which was making for the far corner of his goal. United have had 2 really good chances. Sifata and Jovu, as the long throw in from Astley comes into the box. It's allowed to bounce in the 6-yard area, went over the head of Graham, and it's behind for Dundee's corner on this near side.
With Dundee's height advantage, you'd expect them to have the bigger threat at long throws, but it's actually Dundee, and it's a centre-half. It's taken the throw on Astley, but it's going further and it's landing in a more awkward area for Dundee United to defend. Another thing is the centre-halves aren't heading it, they're actually clearing it waist high.
Danda, outswinger with the right foot on this near side, and it comes towards the back end of the box, headed back across by Murray, half away by United, and then eventually it's hooked to safety by either Chevy or Waters, who was back there, and Dundee pick it up over on the far side. Samuels rolling it back to McCracken just outside his box. 32.5 on the clock, 0-0 in the derby. Long ball forward goes off the head of Ferry and out for a Dundee throw-in on the near side. It's Dundee who have enjoyed the last couple of minutes of the game, and this is going to be bowled back there by Joel Cottrell to Astley in his own half, plays it to Graham to his left, and then out to Samuels on the far side. Ball forward to the halfway line for Jan Danda, who's had to scamper back into his own half, finds Astley, goes long with the right foot onto the chest of Congreve. Congreve rolls it back to Wright. Wright then low ball into the midfield as Dundee try and get something going here. Samuels looking to get it forward. He might get a second chance. He's managed to get it to Cottrell, who goes down. No foul by Chevy's, he's the referee. He's in a good position. Here come Dundee. It's worked out to Congreve on the right, gets the cross in. Headed away by Carestes. Danda with the effort. Diving header away by Carestes. Samuels finds Yogan in the left angle of the box. Stevenson gets there to put it out for a Dundee throw-in. Good period for the hosts, this. And it stays goalless. It's played back to the left of the centre circle for Luke Graham. And then to Astley. Pushes it forward into the United half for Wright, who moves into the centre circle, shifts it to his left, and Hamilton goes back to Graham. And the side foot with the left out to the left-hand side for Amari Samuels. Long ball forward looking for Murray. He's found him as well. Murray against Graham. Graham's challenge. Murray goes down. No foul. Dundee pick up the loose ball with Yogan left of the United box. Level with the penalty spot. He's biding his time. Decides not to cross. Lays it back to Danda, who does cross. It's deep towards Congreve. 2 players battling there as it goes behind for the goal kick, where Congreve and Ferry, it goes past both of them. Goal kick United, 0-0 at Dens, just over 10 minutes left of the opening 45.
Yeah, they've just started to turn the screw a wee bit, Dundee, Liam, just getting a wee bit more control and possession, and it's amazing when they get that wee bit control and possession. Not that Samuels and Dre Wright have done it loads, but when they've jumped in a wee bit and they've created that extra man in midfield, and then they've had the width for Yogan and for Congreve on the right here, it's actually made Dundee look quite threatening.
Well, Simon Murray's fouled by Graham this time, and it's a free kick to Dundee, level with the edge of the centre circle in the United half. It's right of centre, and this time the referee sounds the whistle. Just a couple of points between them. A Dundee victory takes them into 7th, and above United it would also end all remaining hopes of United getting into the top 6. It would confirm Falkirk will be confirmed top 6, and that means obviously that the two halves of the division will be set a good few fixtures before the actual split, as Wright takes the free kick, drifts it to the edge of the box, high ball, headed away. Amar Fatah turns it out towards Ferry, challenged by Wright, goes down, no foul. It's going to be a throw-in only to Dundee. Jim Gooden having a long look at Duncan Nicholson, and he's having a word with the 4th official as well, and asking why that's not a foul. Looks like he might have a case.
It's amazing when you're a manager, Liam, that he used to make the fouls every single week, every second, every game, Jim Goodwin. And now he's a manager, he's asking for them.
Yeah, I remember it well. There's Yovu for Dundee Knights, right high up the pitch here, out to the right side. The cross comes in, the cross is dreadful. On that far side, Waters has got no chance of getting onto that, as that comes in from Farrugia and sails high over the bar. Goal kick Dundee.
It's a chance to create something, because he gets into a good opportunity. He's behind the defence, he's on his right hand side. I think Farrugia is naturally left sided, and that's the problem when you play inverted wingers on either side. But you're looking for him to take a wee bit more care there and see if he can pick out Waters. But over and above Fatah, United haven't really been much of a threat from a Dundee. They'll be looking at it, stop Fatah and can they go and build going forwards, whereas United are looking to get him on the ball. They have to get him on the ball, and by the way, I'm not just saying play it into his area, they have to play it into his feet and let him get turned and try and go at this Dundee defence, because as I said, his unpredictability will cause Dundee problems.
37 played. United with the best opportunities in the game, unable to take any of them. Dundee haven't really worked Maynard Brewer as much as they would like. It is goalless as United pick up with Fatah in the midfield, tries to nod it back towards the centre circle. Murray goes after it, and he and Ajié collide. There's no foul for either of them, and Dundee come forward. Jim Goodwin's got his arms outstretched. Graham's body check. Danda breaks to Yogan, left hand side of the box, looking for space to shoot. He does, and it's blocked on the 6-yard line. Rikarestis in behind for the corner. Jim Goodwin is apoplectic down there. He thinks that's another free kick that United should have got. It ended up being a Dundee chance, and it's resulted in a Dundee corner.
It was actually quite comical, Liam, that the ball lands between Simon Murray and a United player. As it lands, both of them go to go hard in the challenge, but jump out it, and it favours the Dundee on the attack. Danda turns and able to play, but as Danda plays a pass, Ross Graham comes through him and leaves one on him. That's twice he's done that.
I'm surprised he's not getting a yellow card, Graham. Really surprised.
Yeah, he's had a couple of them recently, hasn't he? Corner Dundee on this near side. Looks like Congreve's going to take it. A change in corner taker. Danda's taken the last couple, and Jim Goodwin will be furious even more if Dundee can nudge themselves in front here. Half time getting ever closer. There is an in-swinging corner coming up once the referees finish chatting to a few of the players, in a big bunch just to the left of the penalty spot. Congreve to take, and into the box it comes. It's a good decisive header away by Yovu. Danda nods it infield to Cottrell, who plays it back the way to Samuels. Now it's swept back out to the left side for Danda. Looking to get a ball into the box. He's done so. He's found Hamilton, left hand side of the penalty spot. Rolls it back out to the left for Yogan, up against Yovu. Yogan at the left angle of the box. He's got Danda in support, uses him. Danda, he's got time, flicks him the outside of the right foot in the box, can't find a teammate. He's all the way through to right, who plays it back in with the right foot. There's the whistle, and that will result in a Dundee United free kick. Once more, Jim Goodwin remonstrating with the fourth official down below us, and there's been plenty of that in the last 5 minutes or so.
Dundee are much more composed round about the 18-yard box than what United are. They're able to string a couple of passes together, able to take time and play it wide, maybe shift it back inside and go back out the same side and get the winger on it and put crosses in the box. But what United have done is they've been able to defend their box really well. The three centre-halves have won the majority in there. But you can't allow them to have that much time, because sooner or later they will find a Dundee player in the box, and when they do, it's going to be hard for United to get back into the game, because they haven't created that much at all. They've had don't get me wrong, they've had the two best chances, but they never hit the target with the first one, and the second one straight to McCracken.
Little quirk in this fixture right now is the away team seems to be the one getting the results. United are 4 visits to Dens in the league without defeat. Did lose in the Scottish Cup here, that early Simon Murray goal last season. But also Dundee are unbeaten in the last 4 visits to Tannadice. As Dundee clear through Astley down the right side, looking for Murray. It's knocked away by Graham. He's got straight to Congreve, and Murray's in a good position if he can find him. He has done. Murray can't control, might get a second bite here. Back on his right foot, Murray's efforts blocked, and United clear. And Simon Murray looks up at the ball as it's rifled up high into the air, and he's furious that he's not wheeling away in celebration instead. It just seemed to go under him, Kevin.
He just couldn't get out his feet, Liam. Just as he goes through, you just think he's going to just keep it on his left side, the safe side, and he just gets his feet tangled a wee bit. Then he ends up back on his right. I think it's Ross Graham in the end that makes the block. Just comes from nothing as well, Liam. Second ball's really first to react. Good wee slip pass for Congreve, and before you know it, you're almost running through and goal. He just couldn't quite get out his feet, which is not like him, Simon Murray.
Astley with a long throw into the United box here. We played 41.5, it's 0-0, and it comes towards the 6-yard line. It's cleared, and now United are away in a counter with Amar Fata, and it's one-on-one here. Fata up against Samuels. He's got support arriving, and then the ball jiggles away from him. Still alive though. Back to Fata, right side shoot, saved by the right boot of McCracken. And away it goes, out for a throw into United on the far side, level with the Dundee penalty spot.
I say he's unpredictable, Liam, but how he managed to, I have not got a clue. He's driving with the ball, he's one-on-one, basically the full half of the Dundee half, he drives with it, and you've got to think it's Amari Samuels that's defending. He's going to get a shot away, but somehow the ball ends up behind him, flicks his heel, comes over his head, and then Farouche gets through. It falls back to Fata and he gets a shot away. It's so hard to describe, but
Kevin Thompson,
it's a brilliant save in the end from McCracken. I cannot believe he didn't just sook him in. I'm thinking Ferry made a brilliant run on the outside. He's got to play him.
There's the long throw in the box. McCracken beats it away down into the ground, picks back to Ferry, chance Graham across, almost felt him again as Dundee stab it clear. Again, Jim Goodwin down there punching fresh air in frustration, as he knows United have had the better chances in this first half, which has only got just over 2 minutes left to play, plus whatever gets added on at the end of it. Long ball to the edge of the Dundee box is headed away by Astley, breaks to Fata, up against Congreve, out to the wide left here. Ferry looks up level with the edge of the D, gets the cross in with the left foot, can't find Perugia, can't find Waters, and it pops out to Samuels wide on the left side, and he rolls it infield to Danda in support. Danda then, side foot ball out to this near side looking for Cottrell. He's undercooked it though, and now there's a chance for Will Ferry driving down the left. He's on it level with the penalty spot's a better ball, headed away by Graham. Danda, his clearance goes straight to Fata, who shoots, and it's into the side net, and it's a goal kick to Dundee, and it stays 0-0.
I don't think that had been allowed. I actually think it hits his hand as he sets it up for himself, but it's good play from United. They steal it. The ball's getting played across, and it's when Dundee are at their most dangerous, when they're able to switch the play, but they switch the play. Danda tries to find I think it's Congreve on the opposite side, and they just steal it, and see as soon as Ferry steals it, it's a great ball. It's probably his best cross into the box, but there's no United player there. The Dundee defender heads it back towards Fata, but he sets it up with his left hand, and it's a left volley towards the top corner. But again, he's so He's so unpredictable, but he's so dangerous with it. And if Dundee United need to feed him the ball to have any chance of winning this game, because he's the biggest danger on the pitch for me, Tomo, right now.
Ferry's probably come onto a game, Ranks, isn't he? He's probably been the one. I just think his lung-busting run there for Fatah, I thought he could have kidded on to going to the right and just slipped him in. Will Ferry would have been on his left foot as well. But I think it's the story of the half. It's just that there's been quality, no doubt, and there's been a bit of composure, there's been great battles, but just that final touch in it, when you think of United's chances, it's just that wee bit of imagination in the final third, added with a wee bit of quality, could have been the difference for either team.
We will shortly go into 1 minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half. It is Dundee United over on the right-hand side. Again, camped deep inside Dundee territory. It's with Lucas Stevenson over there. He's got his ball in. It's a good one as well. And McCracken keeps it out, still alive. Ferry back to Chevy, and his efforts blocked. The United fans think by an arm, probably optimistically. Dundee give it away. Collect by Stevenson on the right side. It was the cross of the game so far from Lucas Stevenson. Back it comes to Chevy. Onto his right side. He shoots, and it's a brilliant save from McCracken. Fingertips it away with the left hand, and behind for the corners again. Fatah waving his arms at the United supporters to try and get them over the line before the break. It stays 0-0. What a save.
Yeah, great save. It's a good period for United right now. Again, a cross from the right hand side from Lucas Stevenson, goes too far. Ferry then cuts it back for Chevels to step on. Good save for the goalkeeper, comes back out, it's a block, comes back out, and the goalkeeper makes a great save from Fatah again. United can they get in front just before half time, but a great time to score.
This might be the last chance. In fact, we're right at the end of the only minute that was added. Corner United. Fatah takes, right-footed, clipped to Chevy, right to the penalty spot, heads it towards goal, and behind for another corner, and it looks like there's going to be time to take it. Samuel's nodded it behind. He wasn't sure where he was, and Fatah's going to get another opportunity, and this will be the last chance of an eventful first half, which has been goalless. Fatah's low ball, and it's with Adjie back to Fatah. I can't think for the life of me why they didn't just put it in the box, but perhaps they will still have the chance. And he's done a Rabona there. There's Fatah into the box for the cross, and McCracken tips it over. What on earth was that?
He's absolutely brilliant to watch. He checks. It's a Rabona from what? Outside, it's a cross.
It's a low ball into the area again towards the 6-yard line, and now the half-time whistle does go, and United are left to curse the fact that they don't lead this derby. They've had the lion's share of opportunities, and Amar Fatah's been their spark. And right at the end of the first half there, it was Vichko Chevy's pile driver saved brilliantly by John McCracken. Succession of corners for United right at the death there in this first half. Yovu headed over the bar early on. Farrugia with a shot from distance held by McCracken. Fatah forced a save from McCracken. He's made a couple of saves with his feet, important ones as well. That one right at the end of the opening 45 is with the left fingertips as he denied Vichko Chevy. Ashley Maynard Brewer up the other end has had to claw a Congreve cross which was heading for the far corner into the net, away from goal, and his only real piece of action in the first half. But it is half time in the derby here in the city of Discovery. Entertaining stuff, but it's goalless at the break.
The Scottish Premiership.
Live on Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland.
So goalless at half-time at Dens Park between Dundee and United. Lots of entertainment, lots to look back on. We'll do that in just a moment or two with John and with Kevin. Earlier, of course, it was St Mirren 0, Rangers 1 to Romans with his first goal for the visitors. We'll hear from both managers a little bit later in the programme. We're on to 5. In the women's game, SWPL, in the relegation group, as they call it, post-split, of course, it's Aberdeen 3, Motherwell 4. Carla Boyce with a hat-trick for Motherwell in that one. Montrose were 6-0 up at half-time in their game against Hamilton. Jade McLaren getting herself a hat-trick. It's still 6-0 in that one as they move into the final minute. Celtic and Hibernian 1 apiece. Gallagher and Adams swapping goals there. And Glasgow City, the leaders, heading for victory. Abby Harrison's got a couple. 4-0 up against Partick Thistle in the final minute there. In the English Premier League, approaching half-time, Crystal Palace 0, Leeds United 0. It is half-time, Man United 0, Aston Villa 0, and Forest 0, Fulham 0. Just a little pointer towards later. You can see Sports Scene tonight on the BBC Scotland channel 7:15. Tomorrow night there's the SWPL highlights on BBC Scotland, and of course online you get the SPFL roundup with the best of the action from the Championship Leagues 1 and 2, and the rare sight yesterday of a goalkeeper scoring, Ballant Demas getting a lead equaliser for Cove Rangers up in Inverness. That will be among the many highlights on show online tomorrow. Monday to Friday, the Scottish Football Daily podcast. Make sure you are subscribed so that you don't miss a single episode, and then next weekend we'll get up and running on the Friday night Championship Live BBC Scotland channel. Partick Thistle against St Johnstone, big game at the top of the Championship. So half-time it is. Dundee against Dundee United. I have to say, John Rankin, it would be impossible to even begin looking back in the opening 45 minutes without mentioning the name of Amar Fatah, who has illuminated this game, has he not?
He's been absolutely brilliant. He's so unpredictable to know what he's going to do, and his teammates just have to gamble and get in the box. But what he has done, he's put massive pressure on the Dundee defence. When he's able to get turned and drive at them, he's a real threat. We can see that. He dribbles, he chops, he changes, he comes back inside. He's had 2 really good chances, one with his right foot and one with his left. The one with his right, I feel he should maybe have done a little bit better. He can see the whites of John McCracken's eyes. He's so close to him. It's maybe just a case of maybe trying to put it through his legs or slide it to the side of him. Again, it's a great chance for him, but he carves it out his cell. Good touch, dribbles, checks inside. But at one point he's driving it from his own half into Dundee half, and the ball's in front of him. He's 1v1 against the defender, and for whatever reason the ball ends up behind him. He's able to flick it over his own head and put it onto Perugia's path, and then get the return ball and again make the goalkeeper make a save. He's set the game alight, and for me he's the only chance that Dundee United will have a scoring is if it's either him setting it up or him scoring himself. But he's just one player that gets you off your seat. He's direct. And we even seen a Rabona as a cross, which he almost scored because the wind caught it and it almost caught McCracken off balance and going towards the back post, and he was just able to tip it over just before half time. But again, to have the confidence to do that, it shows you the type of afternoon he's having just now.
Yeah, that particular incident you're talking about, it was almost like he kind of stood in the ball. I think it then bounced off a Dundee defender. It went behind him. The game he's having, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he meant it, but he then back-heeled it back over his own head, took control again, played it off, got the bounce of the break of the ball once more, and then got the shot was saved by McCracken. I mean, just great. As a player, Kevin, and when you're that type of player, a flair player, an unpredictable type of player, when you're having an afternoon like that, I guess you just try anything, do you?
Yeah, he probably would have drove me mad if I was playing with him, to be honest, how unpredictable he is. But for a United perspective, he's been a breath of fresh air. He's run, he's harried, as Rank said, he's twisted and turned, he's been exuberant at times. I think he's made the wrong decision a couple of times when especially the one that United broke away. Ferry had made a lung bursting run. He had options either side of him, and I thought he picked the wrong one. And as you see, it ended up being an unorthodox outcome, which he ended up managed to get the shot, and McCracken saves down to his right hand side. But he's certainly off the cuff, and he's exciting to watch, that's for sure.
And I guess, talking about the opponent, about your teammates not knowing what you're going to do, him not knowing what you're going to do. I mean, for the opposition defence at times, it must be very difficult. I guess you just have to keep your eye on the ball and try not to commit too early. Yeah,
well, he's Rabona that come off there. He actually, I think Simon Murray got isolated in the wide area, and he kind of turned him inside out. Obviously not Simon Murray's job really to be defending in that deeper area, but I suppose the hard part for United perspective is if your Waters and the ball is finding, and we've obviously seen a brilliant cross for Stevenson on the right hand side, the best cross of the game, Berry's put a couple decent balls in. He actually plays a brilliant cutback for United. Real good composure when he lands in the box. But I would say that the unpredictability for a number 90 really going, and you could argue the same for Dundee's perspective for Simon Murray. You know, good strikers want to know when the ball's coming in. They want to make their runs, and sometimes when the ball's a wee bit unpredictable, it doesn't come at the right time. It can become frustrating for either party. But we've seen plenty, that's for sure.
Richard, what I would say on that is, see if you're a player like myself and Kevin were in the middle of the pitch and we wanted to try and win the battle, win the balls and get it to the wingers or the players that could grow and create. I would see it as a midfielder's job for United right now. You can see the type of afternoon he's having. See, as soon as you win the ball, just get it to him. Just find them in space. Maybe need to take 2 or 3 touches and then pass it to him. But make sure he's in space and facing the Dundee goal, because if you can get him in that sort of possession of the ball, he's going to create chances that can ultimately win you the game. That's what I would see my job as in the Dundee United team just now. If you're a midfielder or a full-back for that matter, get the ball to Fatah and let him go and do his thing. And if you don't win the game that way, then you've done everything you can, because that for me is a match winner.
Yeah, you've got to say United have created all the best opportunities. The best of all, I suppose, Kevin, falling to Yuri Juvu with that header very early on. He really had to get the ball on target, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it's a sitter really. I'd love to see it back. Obviously, we only see it live, but there's no doubt United have got the upper hand when it comes to, well, in saying that, we've seen Ashley obviously for Dundee throwing quite a few throw-ins in that final third for Dundee as well. But I felt before the game, when you think United's back three, the catalyst of that being Graham, a big monstrous lad, and you think whenever the balls are going to go in the box, having that height advantage, that real aggression in the opposition penalty box, that they would come unstuck Dundee. We've seen them obviously concede set plays before, so I was apprehensive that might have been a game changer for United, but so far Dundee have managed to stand up to it.
John McCracken's had a couple of shaky moments in the Dundee goal, but he's made a couple of important saves, and John Rankin, that was a great save actually, late on from the Chevet strike, which looked to be flying into the net.
Yeah, it's a great strike. Again, I think it comes down the side. It's a double cross at that point. It comes down the side. Stevenson crosses it from one side, overhits it. Ferry gets it and puts it back in, and cuts it back to Chevels, and as he's stepping in ready to fire it, it's a great save from McCracken. It really is, and he's had to be like that. He makes to be honest, he can see it coming because it's 15-20 yards out, but at the same time, the ones that's been round about his feet and close to his feet, he might have been untidy at times by making those saves and just putting them round the post, but he's still making them, and those are the ones he doesn't have a lot of time to react to. But again, the second half, if he's got that amount to do again, he'll certainly be unhappy, because he'll be looking for his defenders to do their job more in front of him, because right now he has been exposed and he's certainly been the busier keeper out of both.
There was a brief VAR check for a potential Dundee penalty, and as far as I could make out, it must have been the ball was played in, it came up off the knee of Kareshtes, might have just glanced off his arm. They obviously had a quick look and waved that on. I don't think there was enough there that they would have gone with that. There was a Simon Murray run through the middle, but he kind of lost control, couldn't get through. The closest they came actually was the Congreve cross from the right, Kevin, that came off the head of Kareshtes, and actually that was a brilliant save by Ashley Maynard-Boer, because he was caught completely flat-footed, had to readjust, got back, and he clawed it off the line. Stephen Prestid's going to want more, isn't he, from his team in an attacking sense? Yeah,
I think so. I actually think Dundee have shown a bit of composure. I think when they've moved the ball, when it's landed at Hamilton, when Cottrell's been involved, obviously there's no doubt that the two wide players are the catalyst for everything good that Dundee do going forward. They've probably just not done enough when it's come to the twists and turns. I think Yogan in the far left area, linked up really well with Samuels. He probably has had a bit of joy 1v1 with more so the Dundee back three rather than the two wing backs. I think when United get back quickly, it just starves Dundee with that wee bit less space for Congreve and Yogan to do their thing. I do think when they break a bit quicker and they play that forward pass with a wee bit more quality quicker, Dundee do look a threat. They've just, as you mentioned, Richard, they've just not done enough to really test Maynard and goal. The one that Congreve does get to the byline on his right foot and crosses it, comes for a deflection. It causes a bit of animosity in the United box, but really any sustained pressure has probably come for United, and I'm pretty sure Stephen will, a wee jag at half time, shooting down the hill. I know all too well with the old legs of mine that, when you go down the hill you get that wee extra yard, and then when you're going up the hill and you potentially go behind, it can be a difficult afternoon. So I've got no doubt that Stephen will be saying that to the players.
It does, John, quite often make a difference, doesn't it, shooting down that hill?
Quite often. I think it's got
always.
Always. I think it's always got an influence on it. I remember being across the road in different times, and you're maybe 2-0 down at half time, you think it's fine, we're going down the hill the second half, and being able to rescue a result. But the thing being, both teams are shooting into the opposite supporters now, so although Dundee are going down the hill, they're shooting into the United support, so that's always got a different kind of feel to it as well. But it certainly makes a difference, and I think United now having to defend the slope and also the wind, that's got a big thing in it in the second half. So it's making sure they come out, and as Tomo says, that the three centre defenders who are monsters, so you're expecting to go and head and kick it and dominate the back, they're going to need to come out the second half and really defend their box. I think that's going to be a big thing for United in the second half. And not only that, on the counter, I think that's been United's biggest threat, Richard, where they've not had much of a sustained period of possession, whereas Dundee have had sustained periods of possession but not really had much pressure from within it, whereas United when they've won the ball, they've went forward very, very quickly, and it's going to need to be that way again in the second half.
I suppose it might be the concern for, and I've heard Jim Goodwin talk about this a fair bit this season, is getting to keep up the level of performance for, well, as much of the 90 minutes as you can. He's had quite a few games where they've had decent halves, but they haven't perhaps capitalised. They haven't done that in the first half. Is there going to be a concern for Jim there that they might have almost missed their chance in this one?
Possibly. I mean, he knows his team much better than us, and as you say, there has always been a different type of performance from United. You look at it last Friday at Falkirk, they were really poor in the first half, much improved in the second half, didn't do enough to get themselves into the next round of the Cup. But again, the Hearts game and also the St Mirren game spring to mind, where they've had decent first half performances and not quite got the result they're looking for. They'll need to come out the traps in the second half. They'll need to continue to be a threat. As we say, the slope, there's going to be hitting up the slope, they're going to be defending against the wind, but they have to overcome these adversities and make sure that they continue to have that attacking threat. So I'm sure Jim will be emphasising that point just now in the dressing room. We've done well for 45 minutes, we're not in front just yet, we've not done a job. We need to make sure that we come out the second half and be a real threat, and can we get our noses in front?
Yeah, and of course they're going to need the win if they are to have even a slim chance of denying Falkirk that place in the top six. A Dundee win, I mean, it's just about it for Falkirk. They'd have a 9-point lead, 3 games to go, and they're miles better off in terms of the goal difference. So clearly it's still looking very good for John McGlynn and his team, almost irrespective of the result here today. The only thing that might cause a few wobbles is if United win. They've certainly had the chances in the first half but haven't taken them. Will we see a different flow in the second half with Dundee, the home side, shooting down the hill? Full live commentary here on Sportsound. It is goalless between the two city rivals as we rejoin Kevin Thompson, John Rankin and Liam McLeod.
Dundee United making the short trip up Sandon Street to come to Dens, the two closest senior football stadiums in Britain. Both clubs have been league champions once in 1962 and 1983 respectively, level at 5 major honours each. United with 2 Scottish Cups to Dundee's 1. The D have 3 League Cups to United's 2. You think of some of the legendary figures who made their mark in this fixture in the City derby. Paul Sturrock, the record goal scorer in the history of the fixture with 14. 2 more than Ian Ferguson, who played for both clubs. Kenny Cameron got 10, Ian Mitchell, Eamon Bannon scored 9 for United. Dundee's sole top scorers in this fixture, Andy Campbell and Jockey Scott with 8, Ralph Milne and Billy Dodds, who also scored 8, the latter for both clubs over various spells. So all square at 0-0, no changes for either team at the start of the second half, so Dundee continue with McCracken in goal. Back 4 of Wright, Astley, Graham and Samuels, Hamilton and Cottrell in the middle, with Congreve, Danda, Yogan behind Murray. It's Maynard Brewer in goal for United. Iovu, Graham Crestes across the back. Stevenson, Aji, Chevy and Perry, Farrugia and Fata and Waters. And as Richard was saying, Dundee shooting down the hill right to left in the navy blue and white towards the Shankly stand, which is full with tangerine and black clad supporters. They're also spilled over into the main stand off to our left. United in the tangerine, left to right towards the Bobby Cox stand, and Amar Fatah is about to get the second half underway on the sound of Duncan Nicholson's whistle as it comes back to Maynard Brewer, who launches it forward with the left foot up towards about the halfway line, where it's met by the head of Danda, and it comes all the way out for a United throw-in down by the corner flag on this near side. Stephen Presley, I think, John, will just have been relieved to get to the interval with the scores blank.
Yeah, I'm sure. Listen, McCracken makes a couple of good saves right before half time. The ascendancy was with United. They were looking to see if they could score, so getting in at half time, resetting them, make sure they've got their focus again, and coming out and listen, Stephen Presley will be looking for much more of a threat from Dundee in the second half, that's a certainty.
Well, they did come into this one in the better form of the two sides, as that's sliced out by Iovu for a Dundee throw-in midway inside United territory. Mari Samuels is over it here, and Dundee win today not just confirms Falkirk's place in the top six, guarantees another Dundee derby before the end of the season. It's looking likely in any case. Will Ferry picks it up on the left for United across the halfway line, driving down the left in front of the Derry. Forward it comes there to Waters. He's on the turn out to the left hand side. He's got two in the middle, in fact three if the cross can come in, which it does eventually. Might break the back post for Stevenson, who lashes it high over the bar, and there's no flag to spare his blushes either. It's a huge chance at the back post for Lucas Stevenson to put United in front. It stays 0-0, and once again Dundee dodging a bullet.
It's a great cross from the left hand side. It looks to me it's Ferry that's crossed it, but the pillar's in front of me, so I can't see who flicks it on. But as it's flicked on, Samuels kind of goes to sleep. His body shape's wrong, he's facing the wrong way. Stevenson nicks in at the back post and it sits up for him, Tom. But again, like, you'd expect him just to fire it right towards the goal at that point. He leans back and puts it over. It's a great chance for United.
Although I think, John, there was an offside. The linesman didn't flag, but the free kick was taken there by McCracken, so indeed Stevenson has been spared that particular ignominy. As United pick up in the midfield here with Adjis facing his own goal under pressure from Cotterill. Does well to just dink it out to the left there for Ferry, plays it down the line for Amar Fatah. Cross covering is Astley, and out for the United throw in on the far side. So the theme continuing, Kevin Thompson, United forcing opportunities, albeit that looked to be offside.
Yeah, I always think the team talk for me would have been at half time that we've been on a sugary peg there, just approaching half time. Let's go and play in a United half for at least the first 5 minutes. Listen, easier said than done, but you know, then they start off with conceding, albeit an offside one, a huge chance to Stevenson at the back post. So I'm not so sure he'll be too happy the way they've started so far, yeah. Dundee, albeit only a couple of minutes.
He's screaming for handball, I think, against Murray, and the referee has pointed to the penalty spot there. Simon Murray inside his own box.
That's a pen. Did you see it?
Yeah,
it's a pen. I can't see it for the pillar. I couldn't see the first part, that's why I was asking there. But the ball comes out, and see, Ajayi passes it wide, but the ball's going, it's to Will Ferry, and as he passes it, Simon Murray puts his hand out to stop the pass. But to me, the only thing was, Liam, I wasn't sure if he was in the box or not, because the line's obviously coming across, so it's a strange thing for a 33-year-old experienced player to do it, to stick her hand out at that stage. But again, it's definitely a handball. But what's he doing?
And it's a Dundee United penalty here, right at the start of the second half. Jim Goodwin will feel his team deserves to be in front. Kevin, do you have a better view of it?
To be honest, so Ranks is looking through the pillar, Liam. I'm looking through the pillar and the joining bits of the pillar that go into the stadium. So if it hit Simon, I would say it never hit Simon Murray's hand, because I cannot see.
So that's Shukley Peg.
By the way, there's a pigeon there as well that I can't see.
It's definitely a pen
going on, but the penalty survived the check, so Amar Fatah is going to take it. What a chance for Dundee United here. They've been awarded 6 penalties this season. They've scored 3 and they've failed with 3. So their record's 50%. Can John McCracken keep Fatah, as being the best player on the pitch, out here, right in front of the Bobby Cox stand? And a chance for United to make the breakthrough in the derby. Fatah stands and waits for the referee's whistle. Big and take a breath. The United number 17, here he comes, right-footed penalty, scores! McCracken dives to his left, the ball went the other way, and Dundee United take the lead at Dens Park, to the delight of their fans up the other end of the stadium. It is Dundee 0, United 1, Fatah from the spot.
It's a great penalty, really composed. I'll be honest, my worry was when he stepped up. We've seen the last how he finished the first half with a Rabona. I thought, please don't try a Panenka. That was my thought as he was running up. Please don't try that. Just put the ball in the net. And it's great. He composes himself, slows down, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Great start to the second half from Dundee United. 5 minutes in the second half, and they're a goal up.
Yeah, he's that flamboyant. Ranks actually thought, Marcel, this could end up anywhere. But fair play to him, good composure, big stakes, a wee shuffle. I actually thought McCracken, just for our angle, went really early. I don't know if he's watching the goalie. I was never a penalty taker myself, but I thought McCracken went early. But what a wonderful start for United and a terrible start for Dundee.
Well, Goodwin would have hoped that his team was in front at half-time. They've not had to wait long into the second half to get it. Amar Fatah's penalty, that's his 8th goal of the season. It's his 4th in his last 6 games. So he's finding some good form as they try and deal with a flare that came from the United fans onto the pitch there. So a delay to the restart. But United making the breakthrough, and something's going to have to change for Dundee. Whilst they've had as much of the ball as United, they've not looked anywhere near as dangerous.
No, they haven't looked as dangerous, Liam. But the one thing I will say is, he's had a great first half, Fatah. The second half, when Tomo played and Marcel played in the middle of the pitch, you're thinking he's a danger man. Somebody go and get near him and make sure he feels a presence, feels a tackle, feels a bit of heat on him. Dundee haven't done that. And you can see in the second half, he's come out, he's scored the penalty. His confidence is up. You can see that anyway. He's enjoying himself this afternoon. We spoke about it at half-time, and he puts Dundee United 1 up, but now what it's done is it's gave Dundee United great confidence.
And they could be in again here. McCracken gets down to smother at the feet of Farrugia, who was driving in, looking to get onto a through ball there. Important phase of the game then for Dundee, as United came forward there looking for a quick-fire second goal. 52 played. United with the lead, and currently, as far as the league table's concerned, they are 7 points adrift of Falkirk, with 9 to play for before the split. Falkirk have got St Mirren at home next, and it's Motherwell away after the international break before they host Rangers just before the split. And Dundee United have got Celtic, Rangers and Livingston. The Celtic and Livy games are at Tannadice. They've got to go to Ibrox. They have to win all 3 of those, as Iovu is booked down in front of Jim Goodwin for the foul free kick, which Hamilton's looking to take quickly here. What kind of response has Stephen Presley's men got? We'll find out in the fullness of time. But we've got a free kick here left of the centre circle, which Omari Samuels is over. The Dundee bench: O'Hara, Kimetio, Robertson, last week's match winner, Hay, Brad Halliday, Riley, Wesley, Wright and Jones. And Samuels takes the free kick, pumps it into the United box, headed towards goal. Murray nods it down, breaks in the 6-yard box, and Maynard Brewer comes out to the right of it to gather. And Simon Murray looking to atone for his handball on his birthday, which has presented United with the opportunity to go in front, which Fatah took.
Yeah, he's not really had a sniff, Liam, to be honest, Simon Murray. He's had that chance that he couldn't quite get his feet in the first half, but you're just so used to him being a fox in the box and creating, opportunities out of nothing, and that probably was one. Graham, good initial first contact, dropping it to Simon Murray, just can't swivel, can't quite get under control.
United winning a lot of second balls here, to the disgust of those around about us in the main stand. And Chevy picks up, gets it from Stevenson just inside the Dundee half to chip ball forward, which is headed away by Danda. Collected by Yogan on the near side, using Samuels in the overlap there. Good slide challenge by Stevenson to win it back for United. Plays it up the line and wins the throw-in of Samuels. It's all going United's way.
So more aggressive, Liam United, and Ferry and Stevenson have been catalysts for that. Out of possession, they've went a wee bit narrower, and then when they've jumped to press, you see that one, albeit on the halfway line, but Stevenson jumping to press Samuels. On the far side, you've got Will Ferry jumping up to press the other side. They've been really aggressive without the ball so far, Dundee United, and it's helped them play in Dundee's half, and it's given them a real good foothold in the game.
Throw in Dundee this time. United couldn't take advantage of theirs. Samuels goes back the way, and it's a long ball by Luke Graham. Murray being held off by Graham as it's Ross Graham on this occasion. This comes back to Maynard Brewer, who clears up towards the edge of the centre circle on the head there of Cottrell. The referee blows his whistle. There's a head knock sustained by Jan Danda, who's down at the moment. Remember earlier it was St Mirren 0, Rangers 1. As the top of the table tightened up some more. Hearts on 63, Celtic 61, Rangers 60. Motherwell have fallen away a little bit in their last couple of games, having lost here last Saturday and to Celtic yesterday. Their lead over Hibs is 6 points, with Falkirk a further 4 back. My goodness, John McGlynn and his players would have signed up for 6th place before a ball was kicked, having been a League One club less than 2 years ago. Remarkable story in a season of stories. Here United lead the derby 1-0, 56 just about played. It's Jan Danda on this near side. Going to slip it up the line here for Yogan, deep into the United half he is. Yogan wins the throw-in. United thought that should have gone their way. It's a Dundee throw though, level with the United 6-yard line. And Yogan's going to leave it for Samuels. It's actually going to be taken, I think, about level with the penalty spot. By the time Samuels takes it, the refs told Jan Danda to get off the pitch here for treatment. As Samuels now leaves it for Astley. Can Dundee hit back here? Trailing by a goal to 0. Amar Fatah's penalty separating the sides. Astley into the wind again, and into the United box it comes towards the 6-yard line. It's headed half away. The clearance completed by Farrugia. Congreve gets onto it, can't quite work it to Cottrell. Ferry plays it forward, and he's won the throw-in as well, I think, off Cottrell. United throw-in just a bit level with the edge of the D of their own box.
My fear here, I've seen Dundee United a few times this season recently. They get themselves in front and they want to defend the lead. They just sit in their 18-yard box. Everybody becomes deeper and they invite crosses. Don't be wrong, they've got 3 really strong centre-backs that can defend the box, but I think if they're winning 1-0 in the derby, you're always in a position where the goal changes the full momentum of it. You're doing really well going forward. Continue to do so. Continue to put the ball forward. Try and get Fatah on it. Can you go and get the second and kill the game?
Stevenson on the near side's a poor ball. You can see what he was trying to do, played up the line. And Farrugia goes out for a Dundee throw-in instead. They've only won 2 of the last 9 games in the league, United. 3 of the last 12, 4 of the last 20. So wins have been pretty hard to come by. If they were to win this one, it would just be their 8th in 30 Premiership outings, and that's just not good enough. And both they and Aberdeen in particular have underperformed, considering they were both in the top 6 last season. It's been bitterly disappointing for both those clubs. This win for United, it would, whilst Aberdeen are still in the mire when it comes to that 11th spot potentially, this win for Dundee United would take them 12 points away from that particular situation. So of paramount importance, even if they're not going to get into the top 6, to get away from the sides below them. Dundee just a point clear of Aberdeen in 8th as it stands. There'll be a change here. The first of the match is going to come for United. I think Pan Kamara is going to come on, and it sounds like Iovu is going to be withdrawn, so it might be Vichko Sheve goes back into the defence unless Jim Goodwin changes the formation. No need to do that, I wouldn't have thought, though, given they're 1-0 up and looking pretty comfortable right now. Dre Wright plays it back to his goalkeeper as the game gets back underway. McCracken goes long with the right foot down that far side. The header won there by Kerestes, and picked up over on the right flank there by Cottrell, who rolls it back to his goalkeeper. McCracken has it at the edge of his box. Again, it's a long ball with the right foot. Congreve trying to take it down. No, he's been out-muscled by Kerestes, who does well, sweeps it clear. Dundee collect, it's a poor ball, he can't find Danda, now Chevy's onto it and he's driving forward, he's got Plenty and Tangerine ahead of him, goes for goal himself and drags the shot wide of the left hand post. Low effort's about a foot past and it stays. Dundee 0, United 1.
Yeah, Chevy does well there, he steps in, but he's broke the play up really well, so if they take Yovo off and Chevy goes back into the back line here for Kamara to come into the middle, I can only assume, was Yovo booked in the first half, Liam?
So they've just been handed the attendance here, I'll just double check the...
He was, I think, if he was booked in the first half, it's good game management from Jimmy.
Yeah, I've got it here,
He's an hour in, he has to take him off, put Chevy into the back line, but I think he's a really good influence in the middle of the pitch, Tomo, because he's been able to break things up. It's been hard because Danda's been on his shoulder, and when Dundee have possession, they're able to play the balls across the pitch. Danda's the man that's peeling off the shoulder, able to get turned, and when he can get turned and gets the ball wide, then that's Dundee's main threat. So I think Chevy in the middle of the pitch has done really well in breaking play up and stopping Danda getting on the ball. Now it's going to be different because Kamara's a completely different type of player in the middle of the pitch. He's more physical, he wants to drive forward more, but you can see there's a wee bit of adjustment there with Chevy getting into the back line, but it doesn't change anything what Dundee United have been doing.
Yeah, Yovo's the only man booked in the game so far. We played an hour of it with United leading 1-0. What's going through Stephen Presley's mind right now, Kevin? I would imagine subs.
I think it's the worst start he possibly got. It was a carry on for the finish of the first half for me, Liam. And I have to say, United have been terrific in this second half. I'm sure Ranks will agree. They've went a yard tighter, they've picked up more seconds, they've went with numbers rather than individuals to go and get the ball back. They broke quickly. So at the moment, Stephen Presley, he'll be scratching his head because he just can't get a foothold in the game at the moment, Dundee.
It's a big switch for United for Stevenson, who misjudged the flight of the ball, and it bounces out for a throw-in to the home team. There's going to be a couple of changes coming then for Dundee. I think it's Wesley and Hay who are going to be coming on. As Luke Graham picks up just to the left of his box, rolls it forward, he's giving it away straight to Chevy, who has gone back into the defence. Here's Kamara. Forward it comes, little dummy from Waters. Stevenson's onto it, the byline, low ball across, is booted away there by Ashley, and that's gone behind for a United corner on this near side. Almost 62 played, United with a 1-0 lead at Dens.
Yeah, they're worthy of their lead, but Tomo mentioned the word aggressive earlier, and but that he meant was the United were winning goal challenges, they were winning defensive duels, they were winning tackles, but they've been more aggressive running as well. Running forward, they're prepared to run as soon as the ball's getting played and somebody's got a touch, they're prepared to run forward at pace, and having that, they're able to put the ball in behind the Dundee defence, and as soon as they're facing their own goals, they're able to get balls into the box and bodies in there.
In comes the United corner from Ferry. It's headed up into the air by Ross Graham, drops towards the back post and flicked away. Picking it up is Waters, turns it back into the Dundee box, comes off Samuels, who clears. And goes across the halfway line, and Stevenson will keep it in play over on the far side. Plays it back up the line there for Waters. He's still wide in his own half though. Plays it infield to Kamara. The Dundee supporters around about us are not enjoying what they're watching here. Samuels, he was short with his ball back to the goalkeeper, but McCracken comes to the edge of his box and gets there ahead of Farrugia and clears it with the right foot. All the way forward it comes to Ashley Maynard. Brewer, his opposite number, in the United box, gathers with both gloves. It is Dundee 0, United 1. And Ashley Hay, former Brentford player, down there, striker, 3 goals this season. Joe Wesley's got 2 goals. He was in the Fulham and Burnley academies, joining a 3-year deal, and he'll be on too. So Stephen Presley deciding to change things, and he has to, but Ashley Hay was the match winner at Tannadice across the road in January, New Year's derby, so he came on, he caused mayhem that day against the Dundee United back 3, so I'm sure that's what they're looking for, that impact when he comes on the pitch. Cottrell and Murray coming off apparently as United come forward against a shot from distance from Fata, but it's fairly tame and it's held on to by McCracken. His manager, I think, was wanting him to be less selfish on that occasion. He'd support right and left, went himself, and it is with John McCracken at the edge of his box, he launches it away. The Dundee subs waiting to come on. It's a long one. Murray giving chase, comes all the way to Maynard Brewer, though, again, he holds on up for the first time. McCracken's walloped it forward.
It'd drive me mad, that, Liam.
Yeah.
It really would. It really would. That's, as you say, like a couple of times now, just play in an area that gets your team up the pitch. Put it on the floor and kick it 60 yards into a channel. They'll allow your team to get up the pitch. You get a throw and it keeps Dundee United there, but it just comes straight back down your throat. And that's probably been the story of the half for Dundee so far. They're really struggling to string a pass together, which is then not giving them any sort of foothold or control in the game.
We played 64 and a half. United enjoying a 1-0 lead, and they're enjoying this attack here. Stevenson, he's got down the defender at the byline, pulls it back. It's just behind his man there. And it was Farrugia who couldn't gather, and Dundee sloppily giving it away. United come again on the left, the cross towards the 6-yard line, headed away by Luke Graham. Here they come again, United. And it is Kamara on the turn. Aji to his left, decides to play it a little bit further across the pitch there to Kerestes. Down the line for Ferry at the corner flag, whips it in with the left foot first time. Hamilton gets it half away, and Wright completes the clearance. Here they come again, United though. Fatah, left hand side of the box. Now it's with Waters. Tries to shoot, easily blocked, and Dundee clear. Jim Goodwin will be desperate for his team to get a second goal, because with Stephen Presley making the changes, there's every chance that the match can turn in an instant, as Fatah plays it short to Stevenson. Stevenson side football square there to Agie. United looking for a second. It's Ferry, deep cross to the back post. Stevenson wins the header and scores! 2-0! 2-0 United at Dens Park. Stevenson cups his ears to the Dundee fans, and United have their second goal. Goodwin celebrates with Dave Bowman and Lee Sharp down below us. A really important goal, and perhaps their top 6 hopes haven't been extinguished yet. It's Dundee 0, United 2 in the derby.
Again, it comes from United being much more aggressive. Dundee have the ball in the middle of the pitch. Danda tries a square pass. They pounce straight away. And as soon as they pounce, the ball gets round about their box. They can keep it alive. They keep it alive. It goes wide again. And it's Ferry with a cross to the back post. But Samuels' body's close. We spoke about it earlier on in the game. Samuels' body's closed at the back post. And this time Stevenson doesn't come in behind him. He gets across the front of him. And when he does, he attacks the ball, headers it off the bar, bounces over the line. But it's good play. Wing back to wing back is almost unstoppable. Hard to defend against. It's not unstoppable, it's hard to defend against, because you've got one wing back on one side and another wing back, another coming into the back post. But that's where you want it to be. That's why you play a back three to try and get them forward. So good from Dundee United. And as I said earlier, they cannot sit in the 1-0 win or the 1-0 lead. They have to go and try and get the second goal to kill the game. It's going to be really difficult for Dundee to get back in it now.
Yeah, for how brilliant Dundee United have been, Liam. Dundee have been abysmal in the second half. You know, Samuels, he got the warning with the one that ended up being offside when Stevenson nipped in at the back post when he failed to clear his lines. And that time he's got to be stronger in the back post. You know, he's favourite to get the ball there. And I have to say, you know, Will Ferry, Stevenson, the 2 wing backs for United have been catalysts for everything they've done well in this second half. They've showed great energy. You see them now when we were watching the live pictures. They're jumping up. They're really aggressive without the ball. They've shown good quality in the final third. A long way to go now for Dundee.
You touched on it, Tom, about how United started the game more aggressive. That's just aggression to get the back post. That's all it is, to get across his man, a determination to go and win it. And yet for Samuels, you'd be expecting him to defend the back post and go and clear that, would you not?
They've been powder, but even that, Ranks, just sums it up really. Do you know what I mean? Graham coming through the back. They've, you know, every body contact, every duel in this second half. And I have to say, I thought Dundee were okay in the first half, but they've been caught in the headlamps in this second half because they've literally not got out the traps. Stephen Presley I'm pretty sure he'll be raging the way they've started this second half, Dundee.
Well, United would be a lot closer to the top 6 if they played like this every week.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to look at. There's been a real urgency and a determination to play forward. At times I've seen United and they've came off the game. They've been a back 5. Today they've been a back 3. They've went 3 for 3 at the top end of the pitch. Of course you're going to give chances away, but they've been limited in the chances they have given away. But they've created a hell of a lot going forward. And what it does is it releases the wing backs to go and do what they want to do.
Long throw in the box, Ferry again. Kamara's a slash at the edge of the area when it was headed clear. Dundee made those changes in the wake of the goal. Presley was hoping they'd only be one behind when he made them. Cottrell and Murray coming off as United come forward again here. Waters has it, left hand side of the box. Then comes the cross, comfortable for McCracken this time, but it is 2-0 to Dundee United here on 69 minutes. Long ball forwards, one in the air by the second goal scorer, Lucas Stevenson. His 5th of the season, his 1st in the derby. As Ferry nods it back down to Carestes, left-hand side in front of the Derry. He launches it forward, slices it out for a throw into Dundee, who simply have to score the next goal. And Stephen Presley's to hope that his changes have the desired effect, as Ross Graham has been excellent this afternoon, sees it behind for the goal kick. Dundee 0, United 2. And the United supporters absolutely loving this.
No, what makes me laugh, Liam, is I'm actually, and no doubt Ranks is the same, I'm thinking like, I thought that Dundee would get some joy, Yogan on one side, Congreve on the other, when they could get on the wrong side, the Dundee United's wing-backs, yet I feel as though Jim Goodwin at half-time's told the two wing-backs to be even more aggressive out of possession, to leave a wee bit more space, and I actually thought the back three would be vulnerable for Dundee United if they could go down the sides, yet they've actually stopped the ball getting to the front three, so they've nullified that threat straight away. We'll be more aggressive without the ball.
Since winning the derby here in August, Dundee United have only won 2 of the last 13 away games, culminating in that Scottish Cup exit in Falkirk as Kamara comes forward, rolls it with the right foot, left-hand side, left angle in the box. Ferry, it's a poor ball, which is easily cleared on the 18-yard line by the hosts. Ferry gets onto it on the far side, goes back to Maynard Brewer, who finds Graham, and actually Maynard Brewer's had a pretty untroubled afternoon, save for clawing away that cross from Congreve in the first half. With less than 20 now to play at Dens. Maynard Brewer inside his own box, clears with the left foot into the Dundee half. One there, strong play by Farrugia, tries to play it down the line, met by Luke Graham, foul by Luke Graham, says the referee. Maybe Ethan Hamilton got the final touch. He's now got the armband since Murray went off. It's a United free kick on this near side, and it's all going the Terrors' way as Zach Sapsford, United's top scorer this season, replaces Max Waters, whose goal drought continues. Just 1 goal in 20 now.
Do you know what United have done really well? The front three have played really, really close together. So as soon as they win the ball, the two of them run, the two outside wingers the two outside of the three run in the way, and because they run in the way, the wing backs are then behind the winger, and it's dragging the two wingers back from Dundee. It's good, but they've got bodies forward, and maybe just a wee bit closer to Max Waters. He might get more chances as the season goes on if they continue to play like this, because he has been starved of chances recently. But just goes to show you, as you say, Liam, you look at Zapsford and Waters, the early form in the season, you think they're going to be two really good signings for United. Their goals have dried up, but one that's been a slow burner and just get better and better, Sparta.
Yeah, well, it's probably come too late for the top 6. You never know, stranger things have happened. They're going to have to win all 3 of their games. Falkirk lose all 3 of theirs, given the goal difference disparity between the two. United have a cross into the box on the right, breaks back as Dundee clear. Adjie has it and finds Kamara, takes the touch, right foot, swings it into the box around about the penalty spot, headed away by Luke Graham's pretty calmly dealt with. Out to Samuels on this near side, who launches it forward with the left foot up the line, and he goes over the line and out for a throw-in on this near side for United. It's very difficult right now to make an argument for Dundee that they're going to get anything out of this.
I think you're looking at Hamilton, boys like that, Liam, to try and drag the team through it. There's obviously no doubt that the white players are, we've mentioned that they're the kind of talisman of this team. They can create stuff out of nothing, but if you don't get the ball to them with any sort of quality, and that then comes through a wee bit of leadership on the pitch. You could argue the back line's quite young, apart from Ray Wright, but at the same time, I just think, McCracken's probably been a catalyst for creating a wee bit of animosity with big long kicks. You can hear the crowd get on people's backs, and Ranks will tell you it's amazing when things are going against you how hard that first touch becomes, how hard that wee cute pass comes. Never mind when the stakes are so high in a derby like this.
Chevy was booked there. I'm not sure if it was something he had to say to the referee. Anyway, it's a long ball for Dundee, which just goes behind for the goal kick for the visitors.
There's a surprise, Liam, another one that goes out for a by kick for Dundee straight
it's constant,
through.
Isn't it? It's like they don't have any ideas today. And this is off the back of a fine win over Motherwell last week, a Motherwell team that seemed impregnable. Scott Wright's going to come on
I actually think Dundee's issues are coming from their back line. You look at them now, there's a goal kick from Dundee United. They've got their back four, ball picking up. But what they've got is they've got Ethan Hamilton right beside them and Jan Danda. Why are they in amongst the back four going to go and win headers or not? So get them out off your toes. Two centre-halves take responsibility and get them up the pitch.
Fatah beats Congreve to it, left angle of the box. Ferry looks up, gets the cross in, and it almost fell to Ferrugia at the back post. It's going to go behind for the goal kick to Dundee. It is 2-0 to United. We've played 74 minutes and Yogan's going to be replaced by Scott Wright for the final 15 minutes of the 90. Yogan got his first professional goal last week against Motherwell, and that, as I said, impressive 2-1 victory. And he's replaced by Wright, who won one each of the major competitions in Scotland during his time at Rangers. He's here on loan from Birmingham. He's previously on loan here. He was a youngster at Aberdeen. As McCracken launches it forward with the right foot, and it comes off the head of Adjier up into the air. Kamara battling for it. It's won back by Dundee. Almost fell there for the home team for Wesley, but he's lost out. Dundee United come away down the right with Stevenson midway inside the Dundee half now. Stevenson has to check his run with Samuels there to defend him. Plays it back to Kamara, then into the centre circle for Ross Graham, and out to the left for Kerestes. Long ball with the left foot. Astley is covering, gets it back to McCracken, who clears first time, and out for United throw-in over on the far side. Well, Jim Goodwin's got the response that he wanted after the bitter disappointment of going out of the Cup a week past Friday in Falkirk, where they were insipid in the first half, bit better in the second. That Eskison goal gave them hope, and Sapsford really ought to have at least taken that tie to extra time. Missed two superb opportunities in the second half, but they've reacted in the best possible way here, coming to their neighbours, leading 2-0, lording it over them. And 76 in the clock, 2-0 up. In comes a long throw and headed away by Dundee. Breaks back to Kamara, nods it into the box, can't quite find a teammate ahead of him. Dundee clear again. It's Stevenson picking up on the right, clips it with the right foot, high ball headed on. Fatah into the area towards the byline. Ross Graham's not going to get there, and he goes behind for the goal kick to Dundee, and it will remain 2-0 to Dundee United. And John McCracken is over it. Do you think United, John, have still got a chance of top six? When you look at the fixtures, would you imagine Falkirk will be able to collect the couple of points that they need to secure a top half berth?
I think Falkirk will secure top six. When you look at what they've got, I mean, in United right now, they're in 46, Falkirk in 38, so you're talking 8 points. They need to win their 3 games. I think they've left it too late to get top 6, albeit I think they'll continue to go. Last week the fear was that the season was already over, so that would have been Jim's motivation this week. Let's go and show how good pros we are. The season's not over, but just now they've got the derby here, and you're going to have another one as well.
Well, here come Dundee, the ball looking for Danda's cut out, and it's broken kindly for Sapsford, who launches it forward. Fatah will chase. Astley gets there first, goes back to his goalkeeper, and McCracken sweeps it to his left there for Graham, and out to Samuels on this near side. Ball down the line as the sun shines down. Scott Wright's going to get there. Maynard Brewer's nowhere near it. He's away out of his box. Wright's ball into the area is clear by Ross Graham to bail his keeper out, and it will be a Dundee throw-in only on this near side. 2-0 United, almost in 78.
It's amazing what goes through players' minds at times, Liam. I don't know what Maynard's doing, and I'm pretty sure if that resulted in the ball going in the back of the net, Jim Goodwin would be absolute raging, because Dundee have hardly laid a glove on United in this second half. But just out of stupidity, Wright was always going to get there first, leave himself in no man's land. He's lucky that it never come to anything.
Samuels back to Danda, left of the centre circle in the United half though. Can Dundee make a game of this? Can they make a fist of it going into the closing stages? Danda squares it back right of the centre circle for Astley, helps it on its way out to the far side for Dre Wright. Down the line for Congreve, steps infield, loses out there to one of the United players. I think it was Adjier, and he's had a fistful of his jersey as well as he brings him down. Surprised he wasn't booked for that. It's going to be a free kick to United. It's 2-0 to United.
He's really impressed me since he came in, Adjier. He comes in the January window. he makes good challenges, he fills good spaces, he screens the back three, allows the two wing backs to get higher. He's been a big signing, but I look at United just now and you're thinking, well, why was this not here for the whole season? Why is it took to now?
Absolutely.
You have to look at it and think, how good could they have been? When you look at the performance today and how structured they've been behind the ball, which they always are, Jim's teams always are, how competitive they are without it, but what today they've added to it is an attacking threat.
Here come Dundee though, it's Wesley, left hand side of the box, and it's a crunching challenge from Ross Graham, who, as I said earlier, has been an absolute rock for United this afternoon at the heart of their defence. He slides in and it goes out for a throw-in down by the corner flag off to our left for Dundee, who are going to make another change here, and Charlie Riley is coming on, as is last week's hero Finn Robertson, and it will be Congreve and Danda to come off. You're listening to Sports Sound here, the third Dundee derby of the season, live at BBC Radio Scotland, on digital, online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland, on FM 810 medium wave, and with BBC Radio Scotland Extra. Highlights and sports scene tonight, 7:15 on the BBC Scotland channel, and of St Mirren 0, Rangers 1. And a look back at yesterday's 4 Premiership matches, which saw big wins for Celtic and Kilmarnock, as Astley takes the throw in at the near post. It's flicked on, Maynard Brewer gets a fist to it and it's away. Might even been fingertips actually from Maynard Brewer as it came along the face of his goal. Dundee couldn't find anyone to get a head on it and knock it home to give themselves a chance into the final 10 minutes. But it remains at Dens, Dundee 0, Dundee United 2. Just for a minute there, it looked as though Maynard Brewer was going to be in trouble, as United get a free kick for a foul on Lucas Stevenson on this near side. As you can probably hear in the background, the natives are not happy with anything right now.
It's mad as well, Liam, because when I walked into the stadium and I spoke to a lot of Dundee fans, even friends that are United fans, it felt like everybody fancied Dundee, the way they've been playing, the plaudits they've been getting, the run that they're on. But they've just not laid a glove really on United today, and that kind of sums it up a wee bit. You know, Scott Wright, slowest to react, commits a foul, just off the back of getting half a wee chance through, I think it was Luke Graham that flicked the one on that just goes across the face of the goal, and as you mentioned, Maynard deals with it relatively easy. But you just feel like it's either going to be a sclaffy goal or a wee bit of luck that might just get Dundee back in the game, but United are seeing it out really comfortably.
Well, changes for United, and Johnny Russell's going to make his return to the Dundee derby after, I think, is a 14-year absence. He's going to come on, and so too is Ryan Strain. Perugia coming off, and they're also going to take Stevenson, who got their second and what's looking like decisive second after he went down in the challenge with Scott Wright. A special cheer for Johnny Russell from the away fans, and he gets a special jeer from the Dundee supporters. He always relished this fixture in his first spell. Now back as a veteran. He'll be absolutely gutted to be out of the cup, Jim Goodwin, because if he had a semi-final to look forward to, he could say to his players here, put in this kind of level of performance every week and you get silverware at the end of the campaign. There's no trophy for finishing in the top 6, but at least they're keeping some level of interest, because they're away from the 11th place battle now, aren't they, with this?
Yeah, winning this, they're definitely away with the battle, but I think the challenge for them now is let's show how good pros we are, let's show how good our professionalism is, and make sure we finish best of the rest. That's what it has to be. I mean, they wanted to get to the cup semi. You knew that last week after the team selection against St Mirren. He mentioned it after the game how important it was for the football club to get
cornered in United here. Sorry, John.
But he's got a reaction, and he'll be wondering why he's not got that from before, because today's performance has been everything he would have wanted. It's everything you would put towards a Jim Goodwin team. It really is. How aggressive, how front-footed they've been, how solid they've been defensively, and it shows the lack of these performances this season is the reason why they're in the position that they're in.
They actually started the season okay. It looked like they're new signings, and they put together, it's like Dundee, essentially a new team. And Ivan Dolcek was scoring just about every week at that point. A little goal glut as United take the corner through Ferry into the box. It's headed half away. Scott Wright's going to be able to clear it at his own byline, and out for a United throw in on the near side. 83.5 minutes on the clock. United leading 2-0. Another big game coming your way on the BBC Scotland TV channel on Friday night. From Maryhill, Partick Thistle against St Johnstone. Perhaps last chance saloon for the Jags if they want to win that title. They could get back to within 5 with a game in hand, but they could go 11 behind. So that's Friday night, and then another full weekend of SPFL action to come. Next week, Dundee are at Tynecastle to take on the league leaders Hearts after their setback last night. And Dundee United on Sunday host Celtic at lunchtime. And they'll hope to still have hope of catching Falkirk, though it could be extinguished at any point now. It's up into the air from Ryan Strain down the line, the near side level with the 18-yard line of Dundee. It's headed away by Luke Graham, breaks into the midfield for Chevy. Lovely little turn there against right Chevy. It moves it out to Strain on the touchline on this near side and rolls it back to the Croatian, who then finds Graham. My goodness, the Olays are out as well. That might be enough for the Dundee fans to start leaving. Here's Fatah, wide left, chance, low ball across. Fatah misses it. Russell doesn't. Russell's a shot, second chance. McCracken, brilliant save to deny Johnny Russell the dream goal on his return to the derby here in the City Discovery. It stays Dundee 0, United 2 on 85 minutes. That looked like Johnny Russell's moment.
It certainly did, and the one thing I'll say is he must be desperate to score, and that dream he certainly shares, because he swung his right leg at it as well here. I've never seen that before. But the first shot's good defending, they block the first shot, comes back to him with his right, and he doesn't quite get as good a contact on it as he would have liked to have done, but he still hits the target. But again, it would have been a dream day for Johnny Russell and Jim getting 3-0 win.
Yeah, here's Dre Wright into the box for the cross, but it's gone right through to Maynard Brewery. 3 or 4 in dark blue, looking to get on the end of it, but it's now safely in the grasp of the Dundee United number 1, Kevin Thompson.
Yeah, and it's amazing, Liam, when you just think, I think the pass was for Ross Graham on his left foot into Fatah was the initial start of the build-up play for United, and it's amazing when your tail's up, that pass becomes easier, you're a wee bit more confident in playing it. I have to say to Man United today, energy, quality, they've defended the box well. Maynard's hardly had a save to make, really.
It's actually crosses he's had to kind of scramble away. That's been about as close as Dundee have got so far. Here they come though, chance perhaps to resurrect the game. Right hand side the United box, low ball across, it's in! Flags up though! Flags up! It was blasted across by Ashley Hay, in off a United defender and into the net, but it doesn't look like it's going to count. That was a potentially game resurrecting moment for the Dark Blues. It stays 2-0 United.
Yeah, no, I just actually thought, I wonder what minerals United will have if Dundee can find or manufacture some way into the game, Liam. But you know, unfortunately offside there. But it probably echoes what I just mentioned about Maynard. He's still not made a save to make. I actually thought somebody was going to pull the trigger. Obviously, just drifts offside, and luckily it ends up in the back of the net. I don't actually know if it come off Ross Graham in the end for an OG, but
yeah, it hasn't counted.
Probably sums up Dundee's day, to be honest.
United come forward down the right hand side, but it's just going to get away from Ryan Strain. Dundee have it here, and it's Samuels pushing it into midfield, and then a foul, quite clearly a foul on Wesley. A little bit of afters as well, and involving Ethan Hamilton and Sapsford, who's on the deck. There will be a free kick to Dundee here with 2.5 of the 90 minutes to play. If that had counted, it would have been interesting to see if Dundee could have made a real game of it at that point, but the seconds are slipping away from them. There's a low ball forward, evades Wesley, and it's clear by Ross Graham into the Dundee half, where it's picked up by Astley, turns it with the right foot out to the far side. It's looking too little too late for Dundee, but here's a chance for them. They're in the box again, but it's another block by Ross Graham from Joe Wesley this time. That goes out to play over the line for a throw into Dundee over on the far side. It's not going to get the headlines today. The goals have come from elsewhere. Fatah's penalty, Stevenson's header. And I keep mentioning Ross Graham. He just looks a colossus at the back. Yeah, he's been great as well. I think Savé's been great too. Starting in the middle and then going back to right centre back. He showed some good composure at times. Dundee United have had a lot of good players. We've mentioned Fatah and his influence in the first half. I don't think he's been quite as influential in the second half, but he settles the game down with a penalty. But what Dundee United have had, they've had a solid base to build from. There's a cross in from the right, which Maynard Brewer holds on to.
And that's what I'm saying, Liam, the solid base they've had to build from. They've stopped crosses coming in from the 18-yard box, but beyond that, they've been crossing in from deep, so it suits the three centre-backs, and when they're overhit, the goalkeeper can come and collect. So it's been a good day for United. They just need to see it out and make sure they leave here with 3 points, and it's a great reaction to the performance last week.
Well, we'll find out what the stoppage time's going to be shortly. We're into minute 90. Dundee 0, United 2. And it's Luke Graham turning it out to the right, low ball for Astley, down the line, comes bouncing off Fatah and out for a Dundee throw-in on the halfway line. And it's going to be all positive for Jim Goodwin when he speaks to us post-match. There's been much fewer of these than he would have hoped for. We're hearing 5 minutes are going to be added at the end. Yeah, it's just an 8th league win of the season for Dundee United. He's still having a go at his players down there. He's wanting a little bit more. Well, this game's done. You just can't see Dundee making a fist of it in the stoppage time, which is about to be confirmed down below us. Maynard Brewer will take this free kick for United from inside his own box, and he'll launch it forward with the left foot. Plenty Dundee fans getting out of here before the big scenes of celebration up the other end. As Fatah picks up from the long ball, Russell gets into the path of Sapsford, left hand side of the box. He's rifled it high and wide, and it's going to be a goal kick to Dundee. But he's another who's kind of trying to rediscover his form. Remains their top goal scorer under duress from Fatah now in that regard, but a few United players this season. Fatah's going through a purple patch at the moment. We saw Dolcek do so early in the season. Sapsford had his little spell too, and perhaps if he'd got a little bit more consistency out of those players, they'd be sitting in a much healthier position than Jim Goodwin's men.
Yeah, it's like everything else. When you sign with a new club, you get different types. You get the ones that settle straight away and hit a bit of form, like Sapsford, Waters. They all have. But then when you look at Fatah, who didn't settle quite as quickly, it took him a wee bit of time to adapt, but now he has. He's been really influential. But again, the challenge now is, can you get the form that they showed the early part in Fatah's form recently into the next season?
Kamara for Russell as they look to hit Dundee on a counter here. Kamara picks up midway inside the Dundee half, back down the line to Strain, he can't keep it in play. Throw into Dundee on this near side. Another Premiership weekend ticked off. Just 8 match days to go once this one's done for these two and for everyone else. We'll do it all again next weekend, but there's going to be, whilst this one doesn't have the kind of repercussions that some of the other fixtures have at differing ends of the league, these two are kind of in no man's land. They'd rather be there than the spectre of that relegation playoff spot, assuming Livingston can't dig themselves out of trouble. Kilmarnock beating Hearts last night's put the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit in that particular area of the table. Dundee not quite out of that yet, and just a point further away than Aberdeen are from the danger zone. And as Stray Wright takes a free kick for Dundee, it's easily headed clear by United. 2-0 up with 3 minutes of the stoppages to play. It's good play by Samuels down this near side, but then he overcooks it, and it's the challenge there between Strain and Sapsford, the two Aussies combining. It's cleared by Ryan Strain into the Dundee half when it's picked up there by Finn Robertson. Right to the right side. Dundee try and get something back. It would just be consolation now. It's right level with the 6-yard line. Back to level with the penalty spot on the far side. Can they get the cross in? It's Charlie Riley looking to get to the byline. He's won the corner for Dundee, who are finishing the game strongly, but they are way too far back to do anything about it now. We played 3 of the 5 minutes of stoppage time, and it remains Dundee 0, United 2. A fine day at the office, the Tangerines, and once again it's the away team that will come out on top. And Dundee won at Tannadice in the last visit there. United won here early in the season. And go back to back at Dens Park as Dundee's corner comes in. It's only a half away. It's stabbed in. Dundee get a goal back. They've got one back. Tannadice scores with just a minute and a half of stoppage time remaining. Dundee 1, United 2.
I thought he might need a miracle, Liam. The miracle might just happen, and I think the stadium's half empty. I think it was Graham at the back post there, and Hayes just managed a wee scuffle. Too many bodies in front of us for this angle to see. And as you mentioned, Hay gets a wee toe poke. Could the miracle happen?
Well, it's a delay at the start here. I think they're just making sure that the goal's good. But John Rankin, if Dundee can force one last opportunity, they might yet secure an unlikely point.
I think it's gone now. They've got a minute. I think from a United perspective, you're ready to take centre. You get the ball forward, you don't go back with it. You put the ball in the Dundee half and make sure you see the game out.
Goal stands.
It's a poor goal to concede from a set play. Again, though, Liam, there's no anybody to clear it. The ball's at waist height. Just put your foot through it and get it out of the box.
And they put it out for a throw in midway inside the Dundee half of United. Ball back by Samuels. Luke Graham launches it long with the left foot. There was a real delay to the restart. There was about a minute and 25 seconds left when that ball hit the net. So we'll go probably about a minute after that. Ross Graham goes in. The ref didn't like the challenge. The yellow card's out for the United skipper. Dundee have a free kick. It's about 8 or 9, 10 yards away from this near side touchline. Ethan Hamilton's been booked as well, but they're going to get a chance to put the ball in the box here.
It was a naughty one, that as well, Liam, for Graham. He left one on. Ranks will know all too well about the A1s. You know, you want to leave that marker a bit, almost a bit desperation, and a silly one really for Graham, because he's now allowing Dundee to put the ball in the box with only seconds to go, really.
Well, I mean, we've played 30 seconds over the 5 minutes that were added. I think there'll be another 30-40 seconds on top, but it's now or never for Dundee, and Finn Robertson's over the free kick into the wind.
And McCracken's up.
Yeah, he is. Dundee keeper, everyone just outside the box. It'll be a sensational end to this. Robertson, right-footed, curls it in. Oh, it's in! Wow. It's 2-2, it's an own goal! It's absolutely incredible! At Dens Park, the Dundee coaching staff and subs and players who are withdrawn are all on the pitch to celebrate. The Dundee United players are absolutely heartbroken. 2-0 up in second half stoppage time. They're going to leave 2 points on the floor. And Dundee, from absolutely nowhere, off the floor, off the canvas, Dundee 2, Dundee United 2. Incredible!
Wow. I can't even speak. Liam Ranks is under the table here. I genuinely never seen it coming. Finn Robertson, brilliant delivery, and as you mentioned, Liam, into the wind. It's right on the money. I don't even know who ends up with the final touch. Maynard, no chance in goal. The speed was on the ball, right on the money. I need to put the Euro millions on, man.
Liam, I could not see that happening. I could not see it happen for the life of me. A ball into it's a silly foul for Ross Graham. Right in the half. It's
all over. Wow. Well, we have seen, we have heard, we have read so many different stories that have been woven through this most special of football seasons, 25-26. Jim Goodwin is gutted down there. He can't quite believe it. He's stroking his beard, wondering where it all went wrong. Stephen Presley, cool as you like, hands in pockets, walks towards the tunnel. Dundee were 2-0 down, 3.5 minutes into 5 added on at the end of the match. And yet somehow they've taken a point in this derby that they look to be well beaten in. Dundee United went 2-0 up in that second half. Fatah's penalty early on in it. Lucas Stevenson's header, which kissed the underside of the bar and dropped into the net. And as the minutes ticked away from Dundee, they looked like a hopeless cause. The United players still can't believe it down there. Many standing hands and hips, looking down, counting how many shoes they're wearing. Some are looking up to the heavens. The Dundee supporters, many of whom had left Dens Park. But those who are here are celebrating Those two late salvos. Ashley Hay stabbing home, the man who got the winner at Tannadice in January. And then right at the end, Finn Robertson's free kick came careering off what looked to be a Dundee United head and into the net. And Dundee somehow have taken a point from this match as the United PA and the Dundee PA taunts the United supporters with their anthem. And just the most stunning end to this third Dundee derby of the season in the most stunning of campaigns. It finished at Dens, Dundee 2, Dundee United 2.
The Scottish